Patient. You are kind. You are not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. You do not demand your own way. You are not irritable. You keep no record of wrongdoings. You do not rejoice in injustice, but you rejoice when the truth wins. You never give up. You never lose faith. You are always hopeful. You endure through every circumstance. Prophecy and speaking in unknown languages, special knowledge, these things will be useful, but you will last forever. Now our knowledge is partial, our knowledge is incomplete, and even the gift of prophecy reveals only part of the whole picture. But when the time of perfection comes, these partial things will become useless. When I was a child, I spoke and I thought and reasoned as a child would. But when I grew up, I put away some of those childish things. Now we see things imperfectly, like puzzling reflections in a mirror. But one day, I believe we will see everything with perfect clarity. All that I know is partial and incomplete. But then, I will know everything completely. Just as the one true love, the source of everything, now knows me completely. And these three will last forever. Faith, hope, and love, and the greatest of these is love. You are always with me. You are guiding my steps with wisdom and love. You are with me. You will guide me. Do not lose hope, nor be sad. You will surely be victorious if you believe in yourself. Indeed, with hardship comes ease. The things you are meant to endure is only because it is known that you will endure. So do not be saddened, do not be put down. You will be superior if you truly believe in yourself. Although you are lost, you will guide you. If you put your trust in yourself, it will be sufficient for you. those who choose to believe in themselves and continue to believe in themselves become brothers, and they make peace. And brothers become peaceful to one another because they believed in themselves, each one. I would say hold firmly to the ropes of love. Hold them all together and do not become divided. Hold firmly to the rope of love. Hold firmly to the rope of source. All of it together, and do not become divided. And cooperate in righteousness and piety. But do not cooperate in things that do not resonate with the deep voice inside of yourself. Those things can be avoided. There is a path. It may be difficult, but it is your path to walk if you choose it. Love will bring our hearts together. If you had spent all that is in the earth, you could not have brought hearts together, because only love can bring hearts together. Indeed, everyone has their religion. Their religion is yours, for them alone. And you can choose who you will worship. You can worship self, or you can worship others around you, in a way that strengthens them, gives them confidence. We get so pushed down by different things, and we need to be lifted back up. We need people around us to strengthen us. Dare I say, charge us up. Yes, we can charge with nourishment to our bodies. Yes, that is necessary, but what is it all for if not to interact? If not to experience? Why go inward at all if it makes no change in the world around you? Why would we go inward if not to fill ourselves and then pour out to those in need? There's people all around you that you can affect. And I think that you have the strength. You have what it takes. You are love. How can you show it? This is an open panel, so if you would like to encourage other people, you definitely can do that. I'm just wondering, why do we crave protection? Why are we not enough? Why do we need external sources? situation where other people are craving protection from you? Why do you need protection? Who is causing this situation? Who is threatening you? Enjoy your life. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. Love knows you full and well. Love knows you fully. Love loves you with everlasting love. It has drawn you with unfailing kindness. Unfailing kindness. In love we have redemption. We have forgiveness. We have the full riches of the grace love gives. Remember, you are chosen. You are love's special possession. It is deep inside of you. For we are love's masterpiece. He has created us anew when we realize this deep love that we have inside of us. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. For the love inside your heart is always with you. I love that. They cannot stop us from loving purely. We do not have to judge their darkness. We can understand the hurt that it comes from. Thank you so much for those comments, everybody who's tapped the screen. We're here to encourage, and let's spread this encouragement around to the TikTok world, to everybody out there. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. I have some construction going on around me, so you may hear some hammers. They're renewing their apartment, it would seem. So love created mankind in love's own image, and in the image of love we were created. You are precious. You are honorable in my sight, and I love you. You are precious. You are valued and cherished. You can do all things through love. You are strong, capable, and you are empowered by your inner knowing of the love that surpasses all understanding. The love of divine, you might say. See what great love has been lavished on us. We can be called children of love. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Nothing can ever separate you from the love deep inside of you once you tap into it and understand what it's like. Love's grace is sufficient for you. It's enough to cover everything. You can let go of the past. You don't have to live in the past. You live in the present moment. Because only when you live in the present moment can you work towards your future. The past will always keep you in the past. You are enough as you are. Love fills every gap that you might have. You are the light of the world. Build yourself up somewhere where you can be seen, where you can share that light. You carry light, you carry purpose, and you carry it everywhere you go. If you're wondering about the background music, it is some 432 hertz. If it's too loud, let me know. I'm still working on getting the volume all correct. But I do want you to be encouraged today. Each entity is the creator. The creator is love. I am divine. You are divine. We are all creating. I am the creator knowing itself through love and experience. You are the creator knowing itself through love and experience. Your beingness is valued beyond all you're doing. Your worth is not earned. Your worth is inherited. Your existence is sacred. To love the self is to heal the self. When you love yourself, you will become healed. You can embrace your light and your shadow. You can give your shadow compassion. Every part of you belongs to you. It's a special part of you. There are no mistakes in the universe. There are experiences. We must trust the divine timing of our growth. Every moment is a lesson in love. Yes, thank you for being here, everyone here. Humans, though, we still desire protection. We have all this inside of us, but we still want to wear different bracelets. Maybe you can see them, maybe not. It doesn't really let you see, but I'm wearing a couple right now. I'm not a face, so maybe that's why. We're looking everywhere out external. Internally is too easy. Internally, would it make sense? We need protection from other people, right? We need protection from the nature that might destroy us. I understand why people desire protection. But protection has some fear linked to it. And fear is an emotion. It's not necessarily a bad emotion. It just depends on what you do with it. You can use it to protect your family, to make a smart choice in a difficult situation. Or you can use it to make a rash decision. Depends on how connected you are to choosing your emotions. The heart is a beacon, not a generator. You do not have to strive to love. There's construction going on. They're drilling, it looks like, into cement. But thank you all for being peaceful with me and listening still. This one note here. You radiate love naturally by living from your heart. You radiate love naturally. That is beautiful. What is a catalyst? Something that pushes, something that challenges. Catalyst is that which offers the opportunity for transformation. Every challenge is an invitation to grow in love and wisdom. Balance implies an understanding and acceptance of all aspects of self, or scales. You could think of it as a scale with weights on each side, if that helps understand. The scales on each side implies an understanding and acceptance of all aspects of self. All the emotions that you have are good. They all have a reason. You are balancing the scale. You are not battling. There is no battle. There is just your inner world and the scale. What side of the scale are you putting the weights on? There's not one side to win out. That would be a battle. There is only the balancing of the scales. The path back to the Creator is the path of acceptance and love. We can walk the path of love and unity. And your journey, that journey, any journey, is a holy journey. We are with you in thought, in vibration, in intention. We are all connected in a way. You are guided, supported, and loved by a higher consciousness and unseen friends all around you don't even know. Get these little bits of consciousness. But you must be connected to your true self, that self that dreams at night. Do you dream at night? Or do you forget those dreams? Be confident in who you are. Say your name. Tell yourself you are love. You are a light that cannot be taken out. You are infinity. You are whole and complete. Here to enable the divine purpose of the universe to unfold. That is how important you are. The divine purpose of the universe is unfolding as we speak. You can help make it happen. You are making it happen just by existing. Your existence is pushing us in one direction or another. It's creating us to be here longer, potentially, be here shorter. Maybe that's already, time is an illusion, right? Oof, that's a hard one, though. I will be right back. I have to take a quick break. Be encouraged. I will be right back. I have to take a quick break, but be encouraged, my friends. I am still here with you. And I want you to be empowered today. If you do enjoy protection in whatever way, whether it be crystals or sunscreen or wide brim hats, any type of protection in this life. Insurance, maybe we don't have to get into that. So many types of protection that we could talk about. But I prefer to talk about inner protection and how we can strengthen ourselves. Thank you all for your patience. And I do want to know your experience. Enlightenment, what even is? What is that? The word enlightenment conjures up the idea of some superhuman accomplishment, and the ego likes to keep it that way. But it is simply your natural state of felt oneness with being. It is a state of connectedness with something immeasurable and indestructible, something that almost paradoxically is essentially you, and yet is much greater than you. It is finding your true nature beyond name and form. The inability to feel this connectedness gives rise to the illusion of separation. Separation from yourself and from the world around you. You then perceive yourself, consciously or unconsciously, as an isolated fragment, a chip off the whole, separated forever. Fear arises and conflict within, and being without becomes the norm. Why do we crave protection? Fear. Need I say more? Alright, I gotta, this music is so nice, it's hard for me to stop listening. Day to be alive. You have the strength of the entire universe flowing through your veins, written in your DNA. so thankful that you are here. I'm so thankful that we're here together. You are going to make it through. Let's explore the power of now. The power of this present moment. You have that power flowing through you. What are you going to do with your power? With your ability to affect others through your actions. These actions that are chosen by your emotional state. You are ready for whatever comes your way. You are full of energy and purpose. Right now, in this moment, is a fresh start filled with endless possibilities. You're enough just as you are. You can trust yourself to make your decisions. You can be proud of who you are becoming. You deserve love. You deserve compassion and kindness, especially from yourself. You must release what no longer serves you and welcome in that new growth. Protection requires. What is protection required for? What do you think? There's no wrong answers. For me, it's fear. Your past does not define you. You create your future. You can be grateful for this moment and everything it brings. Fear stems from your experiences. But fear is not a bad emotion. It's just when you give it too much power. When that fear emotion comes up, you can use it to make a positive decision. To save yourself, save someone else. But then now you're left with that experience and that emotion that came out of you. And you wonder, why did I have that emotion? Maybe you don't. Maybe you just keep going back to that emotion. Maybe you live in that emotion. And now you're living in the past. And you keep living that moment where you were vulnerable, where someone else was vulnerable that you cared about. You live in that moment, and now your body wants to resolve the situation so it looks for protection. You are more than your productivity. You can prioritize what is important to you without guilt. You can give yourself permission to pause, to reset. Your value is not defined by your job title or your output. You bring purpose to your work, not the other way around. You are allowed to pursue success on your own terms. You do not have to live someone else's life, you live your own. Rest is not a reward. Rest is a right. You have the right to rest. You must protect your energy that you have, the ability to go out and do things. That is your energy, the ability to go out and do the things you are doing every day. You must protect these things. You must also protect your time. Your time will be taken away from you unless you protect it. Saying no is an act of self-respect. It is okay. It is appropriate. You are not a machine. You are a human being. You can thrive even in a system that pushes for burnout. You are allowed to dream, or something better, you're allowed to create those things you dream about. A unique expression of the one infinite creator. Blessings to you, Lone Wolf. All beings are reflections of the self. In serving others, I serve myself. I embrace the unity that connects all life. we can embrace the unity that connects all life. You walk the path of love and of light to others with courage and humility. We can trust in the process of spiritual evolution, because every moment is an opportunity to raise your energy, to raise your vibration, to raise into a positive emotion that feels right and aligns with the higher truth. We can choose to serve others with compassion and integrity. Your actions will ripple outward to uplift the collective. All of us make up the collective. Love is our foundation. Kindness is our offering. With a foundation of love, we can offer kindness. We can face our catalyst with openness, knowing it is here for growth. We can face our difficult situations with openness, knowing it is going to make us better. It's going to make us different. It is going to make us more knowledgeable and more understanding. We can integrate shadow and light to return to wholeness. We can combine the light and the dark back together to create one infinite being again. We can scale out and weigh out everything and balance our system, our mind, our body, our spirit. There have been some great comments. Some of the people commenting are not able to come up because they don't have access to be a guest. But I am interested in seeing other people's view on why it seems that we crave all this protection. What has brought us to this point? Seems like all genders are craving protection in some way from something. Yes, come on, thank you for that comment. Heal and integrate the dark back into our light. We must bring it all back together again. Oh, thank you, Nim, so much. Much love. Much love. A little bit of protection here. Some bracelets. They protect, they ground, they are what they are. They give me peace. Yes, I'm doing well. Thank you. I'm gonna drink some water. Today I'm just giving some positivity, reading some different things for people, and listening to some beautiful 432 sleep music. But I do need to go do some laundry. I have it started and I gotta go put it in the dryer, so I need people to come up and we need to discuss this. I know it's a beautiful setting that I have here. I just am just so feeling this positivity in this live, and everybody out there, I can just sense your emotion. And I've been staying away from the devil's lettuce, as they might say, a little bit, so I don't know how that connects me a little bit differently, but I feel it. And maybe I lean on those different substances for a type of protection. I'm afraid for something that I need protection from. And I think it would be myself that I'm afraid of. Afraid of what I might think about that would trigger an emotion that would then create actions. So then I crave substances that are going to help. Thank you, come on. I could keep going with it, but I do need to get over to the laundry rooms. Then I got to put in my earbuds for that, and I can't listen to my speaker. But I'm so grateful. So grateful to be here. Grateful to be talking to all of you and encouraging you. And I think that we can encourage each other. Alright, I gotta swap it out. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens here. Can't just let this play forever. Let me pause this one up. It is beautiful though. It's a SoundCloud. This is a SoundCloud music by Spiritual Moment. So very nice. Yesterday I had some people that were playing some music outside of my apartment at 1 and 2 in the morning, and I was having a hard time sleeping. So was my partner. So I had to figure something out. I found one pair of earplugs. I put them in and I was going to lay down. And then my partner was like, "Hey, I have a test tomorrow. I really need to sleep." So I gave her the earplugs. Like, "Here, go ahead. You have a test." And then I turned on some 432 hertz music. It was on Spotify, and it helped me fall back to sleep fairly quickly. It covered up that noise of that person that was outside, that was enjoying life and listening to loud music as a celebration of some kind, I'm sure, or a catalyst for change. Who knows why they wanted to play the music. But it was funny because this morning my friend from childhood, I've known him since I was born, except for he was born a few years after me. I'm about 2 years older than him, but anyways, we were both homeschooled, and we were like the two homeschool families, although my family stayed homeschooled and his ended up going through some separation situations, and they ended up going to school. But regardless, he's like a musical guru like me, and he sent me the 432 song that I just played for you guys. And he writes a lot of really cool music. I really love the music that he produces. He sent me a few of the tracks, but they're on the phone that I'm doing this live on, so I can't really play them for you guys. But they're very cool. So at some point, I will put them all together in some way, and maybe I'll make some different videos and use his music. But Yeah, what about you guys out there? Do you guys crave protection? Is that something? Why do we crave protection? Do you have an idea? Like, what is the explanation? Because we need to know why. Like, all of us are creating these countries where we want all this protection, and there's all these different forms of protection, different levels of protection from different things and everything. So let me know what you think. And remember, there's no wrong answers. You can request on up if you'd like to speak, and we can just kind of dive into this topic a little bit today. I'll have this live open for a few hours, so we've got some time for some deep discussion if you'd like, or just some simple things. We don't have to go as deep as the guy in this picture with the mountain of crystals. I love the mountain of crystals. He's just buried. It's very intense. Or like in a tent, intense, in a tent of crystals. Oh, maybe that doesn't work. I don't know. Thank you all for being in this room as well. For everybody in here, I will read some more positive affirmations, or just channel some positive affirmations through the source, the love that's inside of each and every one of us. In just a moment, I'm just working on some housekeeping things. I've got pretty much everything done. So that's what I've been doing today so far. It's my day off, so I went out and meditated. I saw some Hawaiian monk seals again, just playing, and then I came home and just cleaned the floors, cleaned the dishes, ate some lunch, and I'm working on laundry. Oh, there are some comments that are being filtered from Jen. We are talking about children in the comments, not specifically children, but when we were children. So I'm going to go ahead and approve those comments so we can see them. It's programmed in us because we didn't get it as children. We crave protection because we are wounded inner children running around trying to feel safe. Yeah, even that one was filtered, Jen. It says filtered what? Do you see the filtered what comment? There's a little eyeball next to filtered what. So I'll approve that one as well. You'll get on the non-filtered list shortly. um, but yes, this is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a licensed therapist or anything of that nature. I just think that we might be able to unify people and find common ground. So that is kind of the purpose behind this panel. Yeah, I am not sure why they flag. That's just, I guess it's the word children and then the word filtered. Because those are very, yeah, TikTok shop. Those are very specific words there, which is fine because as we grow up, as we go from where we started in this life for this body that we live in, we go through things that push us in one way or another. And how a specific situation pushes someone will be different for each person as well. So two people can go through the same situation, but then each of them is going to come out of that situation a little bit different based off of their specific perception in the moment of that situation. And it'll also depend on what kind of emotions they were running with previous to that experience. So when you go into a situation of complete openness, as when you're very young and still figuring out the world, and you're so open, and then something is so harsh, you do not want to feel that harshness again. You become afraid of the harshness, and you pursue protection. But I'm not saying that's correct. I'm just giving my perspective, and yours may be different, and that's okay. And I'd like to hear if yours is different, for sure, because it will help me to adjust my thinking. Because anything I say, I'm just kind of speaking out loud my thoughts, and it's not necessarily my truth, because I will live my truth. You will live your truth. What you truly believe shows in your actions. What you truly believe will show in the things and the ways that you treat other people. If you think of other people as out to get you, then you'll be potentially stressed out more often, especially if you have to be around other people. And what is life without experiencing other people? It is a hermit lifestyle, going back into your shell and staying away, going into your crystals and your rock mountain and hiding yourself away because the world is too harsh, and all you can do is send your positive energy out and hope that spreads to the people around you and makes positive change, while all of them out there are still perpetrating and doing all these things to divide. And you're just sitting back here wounded, hiding behind your scars. But you can emerge with the love that's inside of you, with the light that you can shine to all the people around you. You can emerge from that seclusion. Seclusion is good. Rest is deserved. Rest is actually, it's never deserved. It's a right. You don't have to work for rest. You take the rest when you feel it is time. And then once the time of rest is over, you'll know, because you'll want to do. You'll be ready when you rest properly. Oh, thank you, Jen, for all of the gifts. And also Nim was in here. I may have thanked her already, but I can always do that again on a different live that she does. I'm not sure if I'll be able to join Nim's live this evening, because I'm supposed to go play some tabletop games with one of my friends. And it's always good to go out and play games with your friends. What am I talking about? Tabletop games. What does that even mean? Some of you guys maybe don't know. And I want it to be more widely known, because it is a way we can get together with other people around us, because one of the best ways to heal is to get around other people. So you can play like, this almost looks like Monopoly, right? Or something. Got little cards, little tokens. And what greater love can you show? Because this is a turn-based game. You got the yellow player, the red player, the green player. What greater love can you show than giving that other person your full attention when it's their turn to make a move? When they're up, you're always waiting for when it's your move again, because you want to move your mice and roll your dice and win the game. But you are showing true love to that person when you give them your undivided attention. It's just a little test. When you are okay with somebody taking a move that blocks your move. This game is called, it's not that new. It's a few decades old. Hacienda, Wolfgang Kramer. I'm gonna go play a game like this, or one. I might actually do this game, but we'll do the other side of the board because this board is kind of the beginner side. This is the first because he's got a lot of games, and there's a lot of different versions that you can create. And this board is like a dog bone shape kind of a way if you look at it. The terrain, and then the other side of the board has a whole new terrain, so it'll be like a brand new adventure. But it's a great way to get together because food is not bringing us together as much, and food is becoming more expensive these days. And so if you can do a potluck or bring people over for dinner, it is great. But just getting together and playing a game instead, that's a few hours together. Because when you eat, a lot of people can be on their phone. But also when you're playing games, that can happen too. But when you just take the moment to just give your full attention to those people as they're making their turns, that is really showing some deep appreciation and love for those other people in the room with you and giving them your full attention. I think you'll find some value in that for sure. What do you guys think about my new profile picture? I just changed it. It's got like all the different religions, kind of the major ones. It's got science at the center. It's like trying to go everywhere, wander around. Oh, sorry guys, I lost you there. Sorry, I won't dive into that. That's maybe too intense. Who did I lose? I lost everybody, but not you, Vish85. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Thank you so much. I know that image was maybe too much. Had all those religion, it can spark a little bit of catalyst in people. And with catalyst, you can either move yourself to change, or with catalyst, you can move yourself to run away. And catalyst is any experience that really makes you have to make a big decision. But I am just getting ready for the laundry. I haven't left for it yet because I've been chatting it up because I just felt called to do so in that moment. But now my laundry has been done for 30 minutes. I just need to go put it in the dryer still. So I do need people to request up if you would like to help me with just digging into this topic. Oh, Food Pup's truck. Let's see. Jen, if you'd like to come up, you are welcome to. I know you know how to request. I'll just let you do that. I won't beg you. But hold on one second. Loud noise. Oh, it is a beautiful day out here. Oh my goodness. Just opened up the door to outside. The sun is shining. It was raining. It was pouring rain. It was so humid, and now it's so sunny and beautiful. So hopefully, come on, Sense, if you're there, hopefully you are experiencing some decent weather. I know it might be a little humid today, but I hope you're doing all right. Hold on, I'll be right back. And we're here with you. Oh, come on. All right. Welcome in, my friend. I just.
Welcome. Thank you. Sorry for the noise. I'm at work, guys. bear with me.
We can do that. We can do that. Yeah, I'm outside too. So, well, not at this specific moment. I'm about to go back outside. I should probably charge my audio device in case I want to play some music when I come back up here. Drink some water. This is your daily reminder. Drink your water. Get your electrolytes, everyone.
You need to clip that intro, bro. It was so good.
Oh, you're so nice. I was wondering if the music was going to be too loud.
No, the audio balance was perfect. However you set it up, it was perfect. So good. Yeah.
Well, thanks.
To a video.
The sad thing is that the videos, if you clip it from your live, it will only let you clip 150 seconds maximum.
Oh, perfect. So multiple videos.
Yeah, there we go.
Perfect.
I'll just have
you got
to.
a few days worth of content.
Yeah, I'll just quit going live for a while. Just kind of split that up for a while.
No.
I don't.
Keep going live and just post those videos.
Yeah. I just don't have time to create videos now because I try not to devote too much time to my phone. So, and I'm still doing the YouTube videos too with my little surfs. I do a daily surf video.
Yeah,
just from my drone footage. It's just I just do a little short one. It's only a single clip. It's not like a multi-piece together thing. It's just like one clip, and I've got about 600 left. So I've got a good ammunition for the next couple of years for YouTube. But yeah, so I have those that I need to make in my spare time, and then yeah, I guess I could. Oh, hey, Saved, how are you? We had Saved in here the other day, and I was wondering about his
You thought it was a scripture,
picture.
huh?
Yeah, it's funny because Matthew 5:28 is the one where if you look upon a woman lustfully, you have committed adultery in your heart. So when I saw 5:28, I immediately thought Matthew 5:28, and I was like, oh man, that's a hard one, or that's like a weird one in a way.
That's tough.
I know.
I love to admire the Creator's creations. He made so many beautiful things. So
yes,
but I do it with respect, all with respect.
Yes.
And reverence.
You can lovingly enjoy other people and how they want to and how they appear. For however they appear, you can love them all types, all people.
Oh yeah. Yeah, in my opinion, we're all just, reflections of ourselves, right? One another, just in a different form. And so it's beautiful. The Creator did a good job, in my opinion.
Yes, and mine as well. Even though, I mean, it's intense. I give it that. It's intense. And I'm glad that it's just for a time. I'm glad we only have a limited lifespan. Because if you had that unlimited life, like, okay, I guess you wouldn't have to worry about, not being here. But then, I don't know. It's interesting to think about.
That's a imagine eternal 3D. Ooh, that would be tough for a lot of people.
In a way, is that what's happening though?
Could be.
We're just experiencing the 3D right now.
Right, in this form, right? And we forget our past forms, but it could be.
Because time is an illusion, so this is happening now. At all times, 3D. It's too much.
3D is fun.
Yeah,
3D is fun.
Exactly. It's so hilarious in its own way, but it's also so everything.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. To look at life with humor, I think that's healthy to be able to laugh things off, not take things so seriously. I think that's a healthy way to see things.
Hi guys. I keep
Who was that? I can't see. I'm looking at my phone.
Sorry, Jen, I was in the elevator, so I
Oh,
couldn't quite say anything, but thank you for coming up.
Oh, you're welcome. It's
Jen.
okay. Hi.
Hi, Jen.
I actually the only reason why I didn't want to come up is because I'm in one of those blah moods and I don't want to bring down the vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Make us laugh. No, what'd you say?
Make me laugh. Oh, I don't even know if I have it in me right now. I just had a weird day, so like not that I can't be positive because I can, and I'm still am. I still, you know, it's just this growth thing. Like when you're talking about this protection, I guess I could just try to talk about that for a second. Why do we crave protection? I discovered pretty much in the last couple days that probably the reason why is because we are injured within our inner person, that little thing that's living inside of us. Anyway, better not say that word again.
I know it's such a
Anyway,
weird one. Such a weird one.
I know. But yeah, the inner child really wants, oh gosh, take it. Shut it again. It wants that protection, Um because in my case, uncovering some, you're going through this journey and it's not pretty. And there's things you try to avoid because you stuffed them down there for a reason. And then you find out that that wasn't a very smart reason, but still you have to deal with it. And when you're not protected as a child with something that you should have been protected with, it takes that sense of security away. And then you kind of live as this broken piece off of you, trying to go forward in life. And all that keeps doing is pulling you back down right to that. You've got to learn to protect yourself, and you're the one that has to go back and fill that gap. And I think that's why we crave protection, is because we're constantly like, yeah, the little you. There we go. That's a better way to say it. So I don't say that other word. But yeah, I really and then because when you're not protected, I'm going to be vulnerable and it's hard for me to be because I've been taken advantage of so much, but I don't care anymore. Yeah, it's when you're vulnerable like that, or not when you're vulnerable, when you haven't been protected, that part of you that is, gosh, it's so hard to say. Like,
You're safe here, Mama. You're safe.
I know. Okay. I got taken advantage of very easily, and manipulation was the way that people did it. And it's so subtle, like a lot of people are really good at it, and I'm not good at it. I'm not good at, like, I can feel it, but I don't know how to explain it. I know it's happening in a sense that the body language isn't matching up with, but I was never good at like verbalizing what it was. You know what I'm saying? So without not knowing what it was like, how do you protect yourself from people doing that to you? And it's a matter of going to that inner little self and healing it so that so your intuition can open up. I mean, like without it, you don't have your protection mechanism there because you have that part of you closed off. So in essence, it just like creates this bottling up inside, So as I learned, like, and I've already gone through so many levels of this, of healing those parts of me, but then it's like, oh gosh, here's one that I was been avoiding for all this time. And I'm like, gosh, dang it. I thought I was going to be like, finally, my, to a higher level of awareness, like that 5D level. I mean, I'm there in that 4D. I have like 1 foot in the 5D, 1 foot in the 3D, and it's like, I'm rocking back and forth going, okay, I know I don't want to be in the 3D world anymore, but what is missing that I'm not doing that's going to get me to that 5D level? And I know it's not about level, it's just the best way I can think of to explain what I'm going through. Because I hate labeling anything anyway.
Yeah, that is definitely insightful there. It's like peeling apart the onion. We do have a new panel member, Priscillus 83. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. Just ready to hear different people's thoughts and opinions on why do we crave protection.
Because it's a inner id. It's what we desire and what we need for comfort. Just like food, sleep. Yeah, we require that every day because it's part of our inner id.
Mm. What do you mean by
And
it?
obviously, spicy time in the bedroom.
Yeah, definitely. Got to protect for sure. For unwanted little ones running around, you're not ready to take care of. But what is it? I'm not familiar. Maybe I do, but I don't know.
like your
Oh, you're
inner
saying the little one?
like your inner self. It's things
Ah,
that in your mind you subconsciously want. We want food, we want love, we want shelter. It's the stuff that we crave every single day on a day-to-day basis.
okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, we want to get to a place where we have all those needs perfectly met, right? We want to have that. It's like a scale, that we're balancing. We've got to put weights on both sides, to make it make sense for us in our life.
And if you don't get those daily needs met, you fantasize. You do whatever it takes to try to accomplish it. So if you ain't getting spicy time in the bedroom, you're fantasizing it 24/7. If you're not getting food because you're hungry, you're going to go out and find yourself some food. And if it's raining outside, you're going to want to find shelter because you were programmed that as a young child to have a roof over your head.
Yes, that is correct. All these things that we crave to give us what we need, what to survive, right? Based off of what we're told is the best survival, the best option for us to live. Are there things that maybe we're protecting ourselves from that maybe we don't need to have that much protection? Maybe like this guy with the mountains of crystals.
If you were judging this picture, it basically would kind of come off to me. I don't know about anybody else, but to me, that he's attracted to shiny things. And by having them on him would make him seem more desirable. And also at the same time, having a shield up because that's all he wants people to see him as.
Interesting. That is definitely a good perception of the image prompt. Thank you so much, Jen, for being up here. You're awesome. Thank you for sharing. We hope that you feel encouraged today.
Yes, thank you, Jen.
Oh, she wants to come back up. She must have got disconnected. I'm just putting quarters in the laundry machine right now.
I
So
I did accidentally like hit my phone and then the screen went out and I was like, oh no. So yeah,
no worries.
that happens to me all the time. It's funny.
Yeah, we were just talking about this guy in the picture and how he seems to be, seeming like he really likes crystals or shiny things, and he wants people to perceive him as this crystal sort of person,
Yeah.
crystal loving person. So maybe he's not just doing it out of fear of protection, but he just like enjoys those things. You
I
even
mean,
view
I
it
like
differently.
shiny things and sparkly stuff. I don't know about that much, but I like them.
We all wear armor every single day.
Right? That we do. It's pretty
What
on.
is what is some armor that's maybe outdated that maybe needs to be upgraded or maybe even let go of so that we can move faster? Armor that might weigh us down. Do you think that's the thing?
Mm. Yeah, that could be. I mean, because if you put on too much armor and you're trying too much to protect and not just trust and surrender, could slow you down.
I had purchased some. I don't know how interested you guys are in crystals or how much power you give them, but I had purchased some black tourmaline or tourmalite, something like that. Tourmalite.
Good protection.
Well, I purchased it and I put it in my pocket and I had it. It's just a little tiny piece and I keep it with my keys. 2 days later, it's somewhere while I was out meditating on the beach. It fell out of my pocket. I was just sitting on a rock, I bent over or something, and it fell out. And I don't know. I feel like maybe that rock was telling me that like I had the protection already, and I didn't need to look to that rock for the source. Like I already had it. And I was also seeing a lot of angel numbers, which I don't know if you guys believe in numerology, such and such, but I was seeing 2323 a lot, and I was also getting like this message that like 2 days ago when I don't drive often, but when I do drive, I try and drive with purpose and be courteous to everybody around me. And I just had this feeling like, don't go down this certain road. So I went a different way. And I don't know if that angel numbers or whatnot was part of it, but I just thought it was strange that I did lose that crystal after 2 days of having it. And I was having it in my pocket all the time, like letting me know that I didn't need to fear, or like I had released the fear. So the crystal was like, you have learned the lesson that the crystal wanted me to learn. I don't know. It's just interesting.
That makes sense. Yeah.
The one thing I know about that kind of crystal is it helps protect you against people's negative energy, the bad vibes.
I
Yeah,
probably
I've heard
use
that
one
too.
for every pocket then. I'm just kidding. I'm just,
I
Yeah,
wear
it's
one
definitely.
specifically for work.
oh, I bet. Where do you work?
Oh, I work at uh, uh I'm an assembly at Airborne.
Oh,
I
so they're
have one
definitely in other words, I didn't really mean like where, but like, do you work with a lot of people?
in a room, yes, and there's one particular person that our desks are relatively far away from each other, but she comes into work some days with such negative energy that as soon as she walks in, by the end of my shift, I'm mentally exhausted.
Yeah, that would definitely need protection right there.
I
See, there's
understand.
another
Yeah.
reason to crave protection.
One of my friends just talked to me this morning. He's also in assembly. He helps build engines and whatnot. And he was telling me how he can't really talk to anybody around him because they're all just gossiping all the time. And
Right.
it's also like negative that he just can't talk to anybody. And I understand that position, but I also think about maybe we can get ourselves to a position where we can interact a little bit with people. But it's kind of hard, you know, if you give people too many chances after a while, you just completely close off to them.
Yeah.
And it's
Yep.
hard. It's hard.
I work from home now, but when I did work in the office, it definitely was a lot of gossip and stuff like that. And it it was not something I could endure very well. I could probably do it better now, like you were saying. At least I could interact now, but back then I could not.
Yeah, we're talking just a few weeks for me. Like one of my friends was being really aggressive about hell being real and that you need to say the sinner's prayer. I was like, bro, I've done the research. I've whatever. I've blah blah blah. I've done all this to learn all this and know all this, and hell's not real, and everyone's going to be saved. And it just turned into a huge argument where we were like slapping our own faces to try and like get a rise out of the other person. It was just so dark. And I had to really learn from that experience. And I've slowly had more arguments with ex Christians. And now I'm to the point where I don't want to argue with them at all.
Right.
I think
Me
they're
too.
right. I was like, you're correct.
Yes, I do the same thing because my whole family is, and it. Yeah, I just stopped talking about it. I was just, yep, awesome, and then I go about my way because yeah, it really it's straining.
You really need to take a break from it all. And then um, I've found now recently, I did some meditation and specifically to try and love my parents because I always had so much resentment towards them, and it was a problem for me from moving forward. So I had to learn to love them despite the things I didn't like about them. And they send me Bible verses all the time, right? So and now I've started to send them back Bible verses when they send them to me that are, you know, it's just a text form. I don't have to talk to them on the phone, which they are not very talkative anyway, so they won't really know what to say except for talk about the weather maybe. But it's nice to have this little thing where I can just I just ask ChatGPT, you know, to give me like a verse on unity because I don't want to go in the Bible and actually like search it out. I don't have a lot of time, or I don't devote that time to reading scripture anymore or the Bibles.
Yeah,
But
no,
it's just a little thing.
yep,
Just give them some positivity back. Like, just
that's
like there's
right.
so many positive verses in the Bible, and if they can just lean on those ones more, think about those ones more, maybe I can help
Yes,
them.
thank you. Yes, yes, yes. I agree.
And that's with any religion, you know, there's going to be some good parts of it because why do people even search and go to religion? Because they are hurting
Yep.
and they find some sort of a help, to at least a start of help at
Yeah.
most of these
It
places.
definitely opens a door, you know. It did for
Yeah.
me, and I felt something was off about it, like my whole life. So I'm now trying. I'm now finally following my heart on that. That was the one thing that really kept me back the longest, as far as facing and being able to sit with it and be okay with it and not think I'm going to hell. Is religion was the one thing I struggled with that one.
It really makes you push yourself down, and pushing
Yeah,
yourself down is kind of a natural thing you can do. So, yeah, I understand
yeah.
because
And I
all these
finally
people are
got over
telling you.
that hump just recently. It was just like, Jennifer, you're like 53. You need to get your butt in gear. Like, because I knew I wasn't following my own path, my own soul purpose. Everything inside me was telling me, Jennifer, just step into your own and trust in yourself. And I was resisting that so badly. But no, they tell me I'm going to go to hell if I don't, you know. So I finally stepped over that speed bump and was like, okay, this is a learning experience. That's what my friend was saying today. She's also studying to be a shaman, and we were talking today, and she was telling me, Jennifer, everything's just a learning thing. She was great as a teenager, and she had the baby. She has her son, and she's like, I could sit here and just woe is me about it, and she goes, but I love my son. I love my life. I built something amazing out of it. And it was a learning thing. And I was like, wow,
Beautiful.
that's amazing to like be able to look at it that way, because people argue over that subject all the time. And it's like, where's the people out there that actually didn't allow that fear to come in, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And we are finding those people around. It's far and few between, but we are here for each other. And I do want to welcome in Melanie. Thank you so much for coming up onto the panel again. How are you today? Are you available to talk now?
I'm doing really well, and yes, I am. Thank you for having me up again. It's always good to be here. I'm really starting to feel comfortable in this space, and I really enjoy the topics that you talk about. And that picture, I had a giggle when I came in and I saw it. That's funny.
I
I can
sent it as a
appreciate that.
joke. I sent it as a joke originally to one of my friends, and then I don't know, something came over me and I like had to use it. So yes, I'm glad you enjoy it too.
Absolutely, definitely. Um, And look, just to quickly touch on just what I've heard since I've come in. Look, I think that you were saying, sort of mentioned why, as I guess, as human beings, do we lean ourselves so heavily over to religion? I would say that if you look across sort of all of history, and Jen mentioned about her friend getting into shamanism, is that we've always we've always understood to a certain extent that there's more to reality than just the dense physical. So, back in the day, it was more, within the, indigenous cultures, and it was definitely more of a nature-based sort of, shamanistic belief system. And then even Christianity really lends its roots from paganism. So it's just like this inner sort of knowing, I think, that we have as a species, that there is something more going on. But where it kind of made the mistake was that when it went over into the power structure systems, and then, religion then become a tool to be able to control people, and kind of externalize and take that inner journey outside of ourselves and place it kind of externally. Because in the past, and with a lot of the ancients, that journey was very much, the shamanistic journey is a journey within within the deep self. So yeah, I think I get why people are searching. I get why people do get caught up in belief systems, but it definitely I think we're coming to a point, many of us, where we're really being able to see that even though there is truth and good in there, there is also a lot of fear-based control mechanisms as well. So it's about, I guess, sort of following that that balance. But as for the question, why do we crave protection? I mean, it has to stem to fear, and a certain extent of that, I guess, is a fear of the unknown, because we do understand that there's a lot going on that we may not be able to see or perceive with our five senses, and that intuitive knowing that, okay, there are fields of reality in unseen realms that do actually interact with our daily lives. So it becomes, I guess, this fear of the unknown, and fear of what we cannot see necessarily, or but might be able to have some sort of intuition or gut feeling about. But then then it became this. That's why that picture made me laugh. We have to be very careful we're not falling into the traps of using certain things not as a tool, like as a tool as they're meant to be used as, but as crutches, because what we resist persists. So if we're walking around in a state of feeling that we're needing a whole heap of protection, then it is actually based on a fear mentality. But then that's not to say we can't have discernment at the same time. It's like always walking in this balance of trying to navigate what life and this journey. But yeah, I think that the spiritual hygiene definitely starts within the inner self. And when we remember who we are, and that we hold our own biosphere and our own auric field. I mean, because that's where everything comes in, whether it's a negative energy from a person, whether you think it might be something happening within one of the unseen realms or reality fields that are coming in and might be tampering or, that type of thing. It's all having to actually first come through our energy bodies. So I would say that the biggest protection that anyone can have is actually just walking with their own inner strength and inner authority. Because when you truly know who you are and you understand that you're not just flesh and bone, but you're walking around as an electrical being with a aura and with energy bodies that are interacting, the astral body is what interfaces with the astral realm, and the etheric body is what interfaces with the etheric realm. And when you know that, you actually then take some sort of control and some sort of authority over your own energy as well. And that I won't go on and on, but it comes down to permeability. How permeable is your field? Because everything is like a cell and a membrane, and even with a cell, what is able to come in and out and interact with the cell and the nucleus is always determined by the strength of the membrane and what the membrane allows to flow in and out of it, which is the permeability. Our energy bodies and our biofield, our auric field, whatever you want to call it, is exactly the same. It has a membrane around it. We're not just bleeding into the realms constantly. There is interaction, but we're not just bleeding into it. We can, but it's about actually having some sort of sovereignty and authority over our own selves and our own inner self, which is then reflected within our energy bodies. And how permeable are we? If every time, there has to be some personal and radical, responsibility as well, because if every time you're walking around somewhere, and I'm a very sensitive person, this is why I've had to do so much work on it, to not have energies bleeding into my own auric field. But yeah, we can. We actually can take the reins quite a bit, and if people feel that they want to do that through crystals, I mean, all of this is from Mother Earth, so I mean, there is a place for it. But what it is doing is it's actually just interacting with our own field to then help in a symbiotic relationship to be able to sustain and to build and hold our own field. But ultimately, it is still interacting with our own selves and us. So we can't take ourselves off the table and think it's just the crystals that are keeping us safe, or just the crucifix that we wear across our, on our chest, on a chain. Like, all of these things are just symbiotically working within our own selves. So, we have a personal responsibility there. If everything's bleeding into you and you're can't go anywhere, or every time you're within a certain group or you're with a certain place or what have you, you're feeling yourself extremely agitated energetically, sure, you can look at, okay, where have I been and who have I been around, but you really need to be looking at your own self and the permeability of your own structure, your own energetic structure, because it's spiritual hygiene, and we're the people who are in the front seat of that, and we've got our hands on the wheel, so we have to really know. I mean, that's where fear starts to really crumble away, is when you actually truly know who you are and you actually hold that space of authority within your own self. So I am the eye of the storm. I can walk into somewhere, I can move myself, because I can't live under a mushroom or in a cave. I'm going to need to move myself through the world. But if I can do so, but know who I am and the inner authority and power I have over my own energy field, then I'm able, we can start to do that without being so rattled by all of these things, because we can't control any of that. The only thing we can control is our own selves and our own energy field. But anyway, thank you. I'll leave it there. But as I said, obviously it's something that I'm a little bit passionate about, and great topic and conversation.
I'm glad you're passionate. That is beautiful. Did you hear my story about the losing the black rock or the black tourmaline when I
I
right
think I
before you come up?
came right at the tail end of it. I don't think I heard it all.
Yeah, so there's a crystal store close by my house, and I was, I've been on this spiritual journey, just kind of understanding it. And I've got some people in my life that have introduced crystals to me, and they like them and they feel some sort of energy from them. And I understand, that these elements can hold some sort of energy, especially maybe if you look at the pyramids of ancient past. Seems like they were able to provide some healing for people and such. So, anyways, I had bought in this black one because I was like, oh, I need protection, right? If I want to be on TikTok doing all this live, I need protection from other people's auras. And I just had that rock for 2 days, and then it fell out of my pocket while I was meditating one of the mornings down at the beach. In a way, I was thinking that that crystal left me because it was saying that I had learned a lesson from it, or that I had the source of that protection. I really feel like my source of protection from other people is actually my life partner that I've been aligned with. I've been given my life partner very young in life. We found each other when we were still teenagers, and we've been together ever since. And it's so interesting to think like I didn't need that protection from my root chakra from that black mineral because she has a fully just, I can't remember how you explain it, but it's like she's already complete in that area. And we have different areas of our lives that we're complete in, and we can lean on each other to create that full self, if that makes sense. Oh, I do have a request up.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, and it's interesting how these things happen, isn't it? That, like something so simple as this rock falling out of your pocket while you're in that state of contemplation and meditation, and being able to go, okay, so what's that? What could that be? What little lesson might be shown through that? And what you said about your life partner, every time, and it's only been a couple of times, but the way you speak about her and the way that you actually honour her is just freaking beautiful. Like, I just wanted to say that it is, and that is the whole reason why what you were just saying actually makes so much sense, is because of that union and that of the obvious deep respect and honour that's there for each other, and that builds really great bonds and strength together, and to have that sort of really sacred and rooted feminine, matched with that masculine energy that is also receptive to her, and vice versa, I can see, no doubt. Then that is energetically a massive powerhouse, in all humility, but it is, that is that is where we talk about, that whole masculine and feminine, and we hold it within ourselves. So we have to find that balance within ourselves. But as above, so below, and as within, so without. So it's also, we can see it just within the actual physical unions that we have. So yeah, to have that balance and that energetic partner, that's beautiful. Good for you. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you to the universe, right? That I was so young at the time and she's hung it out. I'm also thankful for her. She's taught me a lot. But I do want to welcome in our latest panel member. I don't want to say your name wrong, but Tikra.
Yeah, Dikra, Dikra. Dikra means memories. Hi, nice talking to you. Wandering in Melanie and Common Sense Official. Common Sense Official.
Yes, come on, sense.
Nice
Is
to
what we're
meet you
saying.
all.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, but when you guys were speaking about the stones and this protect me and this, it's not the stone that protect you, it's your own spirit. Like your own spirit give energy to that stone, if you know what I mean.
So is it
So
that the
like,
stone stores the energy for when you need it, or how do you see it?
no, it's your vibration, your energy. Like if your energy is light and peaceful, these stones gonna double your energy and protection. But if your spirit is like negative, like low, dark, doesn't see positive things and all of that, that you're gonna charge these stones with negative things. But the most important, like I put a simple way, like your own spirit is protected by forces, by your ancestors, by you staying positive all the time. And when you keep these stones in your hand, you just passing that energy and it gives you like double the blessing, in simple words.
Yeah, I could see that. That is very insightful there. But there is something to it where that stone that was protecting my root chakra left. I went to the same spot today and I didn't really see it. I didn't look that deeply, but I tried to look and it didn't want to be found, I felt like. So,
Yes, because you were so attached to that stone. You were just so attached to that stone, and sometimes like it meant something for you. You were just so attached to that stone, and then when you lost it, it was just a little trick that you were gonna feel lost without that stone. But you know what? You find that you are good even without that stone. That's the reality.
mm, yes, that's so good. We are enough. I am enough. But in times where I need to lean on somebody, I'm so glad to have friends like you all, and also maybe also these elements. They give me a sense of security in certain situations.
Yes, like we have all of us, we have belongings that we are so attached to and we love so much. But this is the trick, like sometimes the dark forcement, when they want to try to drain you or not, like drag you back from where you are leveling up, they will look for the something that you are mostly attached to and you think like you can lose this thing, and they will take it away. And then they think like, okay, if we take this away from him, he's gonna go down. But you know what, you're gonna keep going.
That's right. And I was so glad to see the angel numbers too around me. 23, 23. I saw it a bunch, which normally that's a weird number for me to see as doubles. 23 is not super common.
It is
And
I have been telling people to switch their hour, like their phone time from to 24 hour, because you're gonna notice a lot of different numbers.
yes, I've been on the 24 time for a little while, about 6 years now, and I didn't even do it because of that. I just did it. There's so many things I did that now I
bro
look
you,
back and I didn't
bro
even
you
realize.
didn't just did it, your guides told you to switch that
Exact.
time.
That's beautiful. Yes, I agree so much with that. And I'm one who is very superstitious. My mother was very superstitious, so I think that's why I was able to kind of always feel those things. But yeah, how can we get to a place where we're able to feel those things from our ancestors more so that we can let go of some of the protection that maybe is holding us back?
Yes, it's because it's your spirit, like they are all of the time. Sometimes there is a lot of, you don't know, like you, like me, like anybody, we are attacked 24 hours from forces that trying to just tell us that we are nothing. Simple, like forget about all this fantasy that you have in you. But you know what? Your ancestors are right. They are there. They are guiding you. And stop ignoring your intuitions because you're highly intuitive.
Yeah, and for anybody who has trouble thinking that their ancestors are with them, they have to remember that their body is made up of their parents, which is made up of their parents, and their parents are like all of the ancestors are just flowing through your DNA even as we speak. So that is also a very enlightening fact to open people up to messages from their past and from this spiritual world that, yeah, we get messages from so many different sources and we just don't understand it. So some people tend to try and shut it down because they're afraid. They want to protect themselves from the spiritual world that they don't understand.
Exactly. It's, the thing is, it's not like to keep yourself protective, it's to keep yourself in peace.
Mm.
In peace. Like, even when somebody, like, you're gonna find random people, random things that just gonna come to you during the day and just trying to ruin your mood. And you're gonna notice them all. And the best thing to do about these energies is just ignore it all and just stay in peace. Don't give it reaction. Stay even silent if you have to. Don't even give it a reaction and stay in peace, because as long you keep yourself in peace, you're gonna, pass your, you're gonna reach your destiny peacefully without nobody stealing it from you,
Mhm.
because you already know, like, there is a lot of people have sold their soul, and the only way for them to shine is by stealing other people's destiny.
Oh, I know that all too well, and I feel like all humans have to
Exactly.
experience that.
And no, there is two types. There is people that already sold their soul, and there is still people that are still faithful and true to their self. And we don't judge the people that sold their soul, but we need to know that we are attacked from them, because the only way for them to shine is by attacking you and steal your soul and steal like your destiny.
In full service to themselves. You
Exactly,
might.
that's the only way for them. And you know what? These people, they can't even get enough. I wish if they can get enough. They
Oh, I
look
know.
for, yeah, they look for divine people. They look for spiritual people that are pure. They still doesn't have that evil intention, and those the people they try to dim, because they know their energy is salad.
And that's one of the biggest reasons why I went and purchased that black tourmaline, because I wanted that protection from other people. And then it was amazing that my ancestors was like, "We have you. We understand your purpose, and you are so protected with your connection to Source." And what you said just kind of helps me affirm that. So thank you.
Yes, because you already protected from very strong ancestors, and what your ancestors want from you is to not deceive yourself. Stay true to yourself. That's all. And if you got that stone, it doesn't mean that it is more powerful than your ancestor, but it's gonna attract even more angels to your table. You know what I mean?
Will you say that again? Sorry, I had some loud noise
It's gonna
happen.
attract much more angels to your place.
Ah, so I could go get
Like,
another one and keep track of it, you're saying?
yes, yes. And when you have them, make sure like once a week, like you just clean them with water and sea salt.
Oh, I go and I swim in the ocean, so maybe that would help.
That's, yeah, perfect enough. That's straight like natural sea salt.
Oh, this morning I just have to tell you, it's off topic, but there were some Hawaiian monk seals this morning just playing with each other in the water, and it was so peaceful to see them doing that.
Oh, lucky you. I wish I could do that, but I will try to go do it soon. But you know what? That's the best thing. If you can go, like, get that sea salt, like sea water. What, you know what it does? Like, it cleanses all your aura,
Mm,
and it
yes.
absorbs any negative energy inside of you. But remember, no negative energy you can attack you unless you allowed it to enter. If you see it, you recognize it, and you let it in, then it's gonna affect you. But if you see it and tell them, not today, Satan, it's gonna go away.
Yes, I 100% agree. We are manifesting our own destiny with each and every action that we take. Hey, welcome in. My buddy is here in the room. How's it going? Keenan, dude. We're all just chatting it up, just having some peaceful conversations. He's one of my friends from childhood. Like, we were both homeschooled together, kind of, but not really. We had two separate families, so you're homeschooled separately. But anyways, good to know that he's in the room. He's the one who sent me that music that I was playing at the beginning of this live. Anybody who's been with us for the whole time, I was reading some positive affirmations. Hey, D, welcome in, Duran. He's another buddy of mine. He goes out in the ocean with me sometimes. He went out a couple days ago. But yeah, we can continue on. I just wanted to say hi to some friends that came through.
It's nice of
And if
you.
anybody
Like
does
anything you
want to
want
come
to
up,
talk or ask about, I'm here.
yeah, definitely, yeah. And anybody else who is wanting to give their perspective on why do we crave protection, go ahead and request on up. There are no wrong answers. I want to hear everybody's point of view. So far, we've been talking about how you have this inner strength that is connected to this source of unconditional love, of unconditional understanding, connected to everything that is out there, your ancestors, all of that. It's the power that we have so strongly inside of us. And I can start up this music here, and I can read a little bit here. Some affirmations. Let's see if this music will play. Oh, I've got to turn on this. Today is a beautiful day. I'm so glad for all of you to be in here to learn and grow and be better people just by taking interest in yourself and in your own emotions. It's a beautiful thing. All right, let me see here. I'm going to step away from the screen for a second. I will be right back. All right, and I am here. Oh, hey, here he is.
Give a little spice in your lives.
How's it going, my friend? I can hear your kids in the background a little bit.
There's supposed to be this is supposed to be pepper and that's supposed to be salt.
I'm going to mute him real quick. He's still figuring out the app, I think. But I'm going to try and get this thing working. Oh, that's what it is. It's hooked up to my charger and not the speaker. There we go. Ah. I am ready for whatever comes my way. You are ready for whatever comes your way today. You are full of energy and purpose. I am full of energy and purpose. Today is a fresh start filled with endless possibilities. I am enough just as I am. You are enough just as you are. I trust myself and my decisions. You can trust yourself, and you can trust your decisions deeply. I am proud of who I am becoming. You can be proud. You should be proud. You deserve to be proud of who you are becoming. You deserve love. You deserve compassion. You deserve kindness, especially from yourself. You release what no longer serves you. You welcome growth. I release what no longer serves me. I welcome growth. My past does not define me. It creates my future. Your past does not define you. You create your future. I create my future. Every moment, choosing my emotion. I am grateful for this moment and everything it brings. You can be grateful for this moment right here and everything that it's going to bring into your life. I choose to focus on what's good and let go of what I can't control. You can choose to focus on what is good and what you cannot control. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Every challenge, every catalyst is an opportunity for growth. Right now, I feel like the world is really going through a growth right now. We're all dealing with a lot of turmoil in the world. We're all dealing with a lot of maybe stress, and that's okay because new things are coming from it. New hard truths are going to be learned. I'm going to turn these down a little bit because I do want to welcome in my buddy Keenan. I'm not sure if you wanted to chime in on why do we crave protection. I know I just kind of like really mellowed out the room just there with that music you sent me. I'm not sure if you can hear. I know you're taking care of your kids right now, but definitely feel free to chime in and give some affirmations or whatnot. You know what I mean? Hey, 1550 Jesus, good to see you again, my friend. We are just raising our conscious state, our vibration right now. Michael, welcome in. Thank you so much for coming up and requesting to be on the panel. How are you today? Walking around. You made it up. Oh, and he's down. That's okay. Maybe he'll come back up and share his thoughts. Go ahead, Melanie.
I just wanted to say thank you for those beautiful affirmations. And, you know, that it really ties into this idea of protection. And, you know, what are we protecting ourselves from? And when you have those sorts of internal dialogues where you start to speak to your own self and your own psyche these ideas of remembering innate worthiness, and that, you know, things like our past does not define us, and how we move through the world and through each moment is dependent upon our state of mind, and which is tied into our state of being. And the reason that I mention that is so often these shadows that come in, and it always starts internally first. So whether it's that internal self-speak of self-hatred, self-doubt, I'm not good enough, dwelling on the past, mistakes that have been made, you know, we're interacting with the shadow that is present just within our own selves. And quite often for most people, the biggest demons that they face are the inner demons, are the one that that voice that's constantly trying to come in and tell us that we aren't worthy, and that and so one of the biggest protections we actually need is awakening to our own deep subconscious and our own psyche, because that is where most of the shadows lie, and why, and so often we hear about this deep shadow work, and why actually understanding and working deeply within your own self and your own psyche is probably the most important thing that we can do. The root word for psyche is soul. That is where we get the word soul from, is the word psyche. They are deeply integrated with each other. So, and with those affirmations and with that inner dialogue that we speak with ourselves, that within itself is coming from often a place of fear of not being good enough, fear of not being worthy, fear of not being seen, and then we start really moving in these really destructive inner thought patterns, and it bleeds over to then how we look at and how we interact with the energies of the world, because if we're in that state and we're saying those sorts of things to ourselves, then we will project it out to other people. So then not only then are we questioning and being a little bit lost and trapped within our own shadow and our own shackles, then that's when it then travels over, and it's just like, then that fear is just like, if I can't trust myself to keep me safe, then I can't trust anybody else. Then the suspicions come about, and then the insecurities and who's trying to get me and what energy is coming in, and that when we're stuck in that type of thinking, it is quite victim based, of always thinking that something external is going to be coming in to attack us. It's actually coming from a state of inner first, because it always starts within. So it's the same sort of language that we're using within our own selves, of not actually, because if we can't trust our own selves and we don't deeply confront and start to integrate our own shadow, we will not be able to do it with the collective shadow. The collective shadow will come in and seem like the jinn, the demons, this great big, energetic monster that is constantly trying to come in and steal away from our own, our own energy, our own strength. But that's actually where it starts, because you have to actually be able to hold that within. Once you actually transverse, which is very much the shamanistic journey, when you're actually able to transverse your own shadowlands, that's when you're like, okay, you can start to then move within the collective shadow and not feel so attacked by it. Start to walk or more, because inner authority and inner worthiness go hand in hand. When you start to lean into and embody innate worthiness, it does two things. It chases away the shadow, but it also integrates it. Instead of trying to constantly run away from something, because any time you start to run, even when you look at nature, it's just going to chase after you. But when you're actually able to turn around and actually face it and integrate with it, then that's where the work comes in. And that's also alchemy. It's the shamanistic journey, it's the alchemist journey, and that's what those affirmations reminded me of, and to speak on it, is that it's that inner journey first. Integrate your own shadow, and then the collective shadow won't seem quite so daunting and scary.
Yes, so
Love
beautiful.
that. I love that,
Go ahead.
Melanie. No, I love what she said. Like, instead of you're running from your shadow, you need to speak to it. Like, if you even like, the shadow is mostly is the one that sends you fears or worries all the time. But if you sit down and you speak to it, let go of the fear, and you just have to just team up with your shadow. This is one thing, like, it came up in my mind. It's like they tell you, okay, it's not about religion thing, but they tell you, okay, when you get baptized, you get the Holy Spirit. But reality is, every single human have a Holy Spirit and a dark spirit with them all the time. You get baptized, you don't get baptized. Every single human, they have a Holy Spirit and a dark spirit. Walk with them 24/7.
So baptism is almost just an awareness of it at first, and now it's turned into a tradition, I guess. So that is very insightful there, because I was raised Christian, so baptism, you know, was a way of John the Baptist, right? He was teaching people, that they are enough, that they can choose another path. So yeah, we definitely don't have to get specifically into that, but I did want to see if Keenan wanted to answer the panel question if you're available. I don't know if you're still working the kids, making dinner or whatnot, but whenever you're available, definitely feel free to unmute and give us your insight. For why do we crave protection? We also have 1550 Jesus in the comments. He might be saying some good stuff. What have you been saying? Alicia, hello. I just had a request up from Alicia Myers. Thanks so much for requesting up. How are you today? Alicia, are you available now, or you got to mute up?
Hey. Oh, I didn't realize I was muted up. I just got home from grocery shopping. I'm unloading now. How are you guys today?
Wonderful. I think we're all feeling very positive today. We've been really encouraging each other, so we're ready to talk more and whatnot.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear what we got going on today, and if I have anything worth sharing, I'll unmute. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. We're just discussing why we might need protection. What are the things in our lives that we are protecting ourselves from? What are maybe some things that we could even let go of a little bit, and maybe we can release a little bit of that protection that is not it's not working for us anymore, that positive affirmation.
Yeah. So I was listening to what Melanie was saying when I joined, and it was so beautifully said. I totally agree with everything she said, and I think I learned a little bit more from what she shared about alchemy. As I'm still very new to spirituality, I started my journey officially in 2022, and started to get interested in it at the end of 2019. My metaphysical journey started there, unbeknownst to me. So, yeah, what was I going to say? So our energy, sometimes as an empath, most of us are, we don't realize what is our energy and what others' energy is sometimes. And so we may react a certain way without understanding the reason behind it. So that's kind of our cue to take a step back and to regroup yourself by grounding, however you feel is best. Some people like to go outside. I like to take a shower, just to wash away all those negative energies. I do that maybe once or twice. Twice is optimal, but yeah, just knowing that we can hold space for not only our own energy but also others, and that's through our nervous system, because we can pick up a lot subconsciously and without even realizing it. So it's a matter of deciphering those two and working through that.
I agree with you, Alicia, 100%. But the thing is, as long you are noticing your own energy and others' energy, you're gonna be in the safe place. Because even when you notice other energies, you are not there to judge them. But the best way to do is just pull yourself away and stay in peace.
Absolutely. And the thing about emotional manipulation is it really doesn't exist. Everything is within us, and so whatever someone is gaslighting me about, it's really me, what I'm allowing into my life. What am I, um, where am I placing myself in my life to where I'm getting, um, hurt? And I think God puts us in these paths just so that we can understand what feeling that hurt can be like. And underneath the surface, like, uh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
I understand exactly what you're saying, and I don't mean to cut you off, but what I tell you is we are placed in manipulation all the time, and we have survived that. And I'm not gonna
Yes.
tell you, I have been manipulated, abused, everything, like you can name it. But the
Oh,
thing
yeah.
is, the best thing you see, you get manipulated and you get this energy because they want a reaction from you. They want you to go off. They want you to say stuff. They want to paint you as a person that it is not you. You already know your beautiful soul. So when you are facing this manipulation, see it clearly, and you already see it. And if you see it, just walk away. Don't give them that energy, because when you give a reaction back to it, that's how they feed off of you. As long you don't give them a reaction, they can never feed off of you.
I mean, I do see where you're coming from, and I'm trying really hard to step out of the victimhood mentality. And so whenever I view my life, I look at others as they are another reflection back to me. Like they are mirroring back what I haven't necessarily taken into account with myself. And it's always a test from the universe when I come across people like that. So I have a very tumultuous relationship with my parents. They're uh, in and out of my life. Right now, I'm pretty close with my father, but I have my own limitations. So I think that goes for everyone in their biological family. But I'm sorry, I'm a bit scatterbrained. I was out all day door dashing and it's been hot. But
It's
yeah, the
okay.
victimhood mentality it's very difficult to step outside of that and to expand and realize that there is truly no manipulation whatsoever. The only person that is in control of my emotions is me. I really like this saying that I heard from this Hindu person. I can't remember his name, but he said basically the same thing I said, but more elaborative and beautifully spoken. If I find it, I'm going to send it to you, Wandering, and I I'm curious to see what you have to say about it because it's right up your alley.
Yeah.
Oh, can I? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I just wanted to quickly sort of say hello to Alicia, and there was a lot of great insight there. I just, wanted to just take a moment to say those insights are really reflective, and I'm really feeling that. I think that where your sort of journey's heading as far as sort of that inner sort of self-reflection, because I talk a lot about radical self-responsibility, and the only way to move out of victimhood, which is a collective archetype that we all can fall into and all have fallen into, is actually radical self-responsibility, because we actually have no control over anyone else. The only thing we have control over is our own selves, and that's a big hard, like it's a hard lesson to learn, and it took me a really long time, because so often my inner landscape and feelings could be quite justified because of the actions of other people. Because, we justify it in our own heads because it's like, well, no, hang on, they said this and they did that. So I'm quite, that indignation comes in. I'm quite justified actually to be feeling like this. But then you start to realise and go, oh, hang on here. I can't control the behaviours or the actions of anyone else. The only thing that I can actually do is be able to control my own self. And if I actually don't let it come in and interfere and define my own energetic landscape within, then that's really what's called the magician in the arcana within the tarot. And you don't have to be I'm not talking about tarot necessarily as a divination tool, but the archetypes, 'cause it's very archetypal. And that's the alchemist as well, because it's turning the lead into gold, and that's just within our own selves. That no matter what's actually thrown at us, we can actually still remain balanced and steady within our own selves and maintaining our own equilibrium. And that's hard. Like, that's why it's called the great work, because it is, and it's all inner. It is all a really deep inner work and deep inner landscape. And just to quickly finish, we're talking about empaths. I'm a huge fan of Carl Jung, and transversing the psyche and moving through the archetypes that we have within ourselves and have within the collective. And I actually just recently, I don't post videos very often, but posted a video of one of his teachings, actually specifically talking about, it just touched very deeply, it was a big resonance, about the empath and about how it's not just a gift of sensitivity, it's literally a psychic gift. We're tapping into the collective psychic fields. So it is very, very easy to be a sponge and a psychic sponge and take on the shadows of other people. And there was a line that was in it, which is, I see you, but I do not become you. And that is, I guess, the empath walking within that more sort of embodiment of integration, is that when you feel so deeply and you can walk in a room, or you can, be around certain situations or people, or even literally just within the ether itself, and you can start to feel all of these different emotions and feelings come through, whether they're good or they're positive, it can be extremely overwhelming, because you take it in and you take it on as your own self. And we're all dealing with so much of our own shadow. The last thing we need to be doing is confusing the shadow of other people for our own selves. And we become, it says that the healer then becomes the harmed. We become this psychic sponge that then just thinks that we have to heal everyone and everything, and we're constantly taking in the shadow. And if you aren't actually quite have that inner awareness, you can't delineate between what is actually yours and what is actually coming out from the collective. And that's all about doing that deep sort of inner work, and working through that your own psyche and your own subconscious and your own because this is the thing, is that it doesn't mean that you no longer feel. If you can talk to people and really hold space with them and actually be the witness, because it's about becoming the witness instead of being dragged so emotionally into their landscape. And sometimes, and it said in this video, and within the conscious community and the spiritual community, we can romanticize sensitivity. Sensitivity is good, but it can come with its own shadow as well. So if we can stand in witness to others and witness to the world, and say, I see you, I stand with you, I hear you, I'm in witness to you, but I don't become you. I don't become your shadow. I don't allow that to interact and interface with my own auric field and my own self, so that I then become, the carrier of burdens that aren't mine. Because in healing, it's really about being the witness of others, taking on their burden of their own victimhood or their own shadow. That's their journey, and that's for them to do. The best that we can actually do is become so inner healed within ourselves and actually become the witness of others, to be able to hear them and see them without actually taking in and sponging in all of their emotions and all of their own shadows. So thank you. I just wanted to touch on that. But yeah, that sounds like what an amazing journey you're on. That's beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And likewise, I think that you and I are on the same wavelength when it comes to shamanic work, regardless of us wanting to be shamans. So, yeah, it's beautiful what you said. Thank you.
And I want to share something. It's beautiful what Melanie said, but just one little note. There is nothing called victimhood. That's what they made you feel to embarrass you, but it's not victimhood. It's something you went through, you experience it. Those are feelings, and when you speak to the wrong people, they made you feel like a victim. But when you learn that nobody care, but when you learn to go process your own feelings by yourself and heal them by yourself, you become not victim anymore. You learn to understand your own spirit.
That is beautiful. Yes, thank you so much. I was also just sparked a thought that, the dark times we go through, the difficult times, they seem so intense, they seem so deeply on this one side, but just think about how that is a scale. And now that you've gone through that dark thing, you can also learn the other side, the love, on a super deep level. So that's all I wanted to say on that. I haven't let Keenan talk yet. I didn't know if he wanted to lighten up the mood or say something at all, with this deeper or less deep. But I also have 1550 Jesus. Yeah, Keenan looks like he's still busy making his kids some dinner. So I'm going to give the floor over to 1550 Jesus. I know he only comes up when he has some great stuff to say, so I'm ready for you.
I just wanted to add the whole, like Alicia was just saying about shamans and all this. It's one of those things, and remember, my eyesight is bad. I think Emily brought up the
Yep.
sponge example,
Yep.
and it is hard because it's always like being on constant guard, because unfortunately that's one of the many things I experience, is where I just, without wanting to, it's just it's hard some days, that's why, like, I don't know if I spoke about it yesterday. That's why I really don't do like sports, concerts, crowded rooms. I mean, even growing up, I had to go to a smaller school because I couldn't handle large crowds. It's just, you get emotionally overwhelmed, and sometimes it's hard. It's not, you do the best you can. So I try to explain to people, and I appreciate a lot of people when they give me tips and things like that. But sometimes, it's hard. So again, just like yesterday, I said, okay, now I come up because Melanie was like on cue and she was talking. It made me feel comfortable. I said, okay, there's somebody up here that gets it.
Yes. There's a lot of people up here that really get it. They understand. And I'm glad we're able to create these rooms. We're able to encourage each other so that we can move in an action, and feel encouraged to move in those directions of unity. Because The world is so polarized right now. It's easy to find the disagreements right now. And we got to protect ourselves. So, would you like to answer the prompt 1550 Jesus about why do we crave protection?
For that very reason, the
Yeah.
absorption of so much. I mean, I've had no other word for it, not to make it dark or anything, but I have had instances of being scared. I don't become the other person, but I take on so much of them. It's almost like I dwell in their body and I'm sharing their bodies and their emotion. And sometimes I actually see through their eyes. And for me, that is so scary when the separation has to occur because, like Melanie was saying, because now as I'm separating, it's like, okay, what's my emotions versus what theirs is? You know, so it's like turmoil.
But
And
what? Why were you scared at the first place from the separation? Because you thought you kept them under control?
yes, the whole control factor, plus some
Yeah.
of these people have emotions that are not pleasant.
And they broke free? And you were scared that they're gonna broke free?
No, I was scared of the experience itself while it was happening, and then the separation of saying I don't want to carry any of their feelings anymore, and I really want them completely gone. You know, and you kind of sometimes get confused in the process of doing it. So it's like, okay, I got to guard myself. I'm not them. What I saw through them was not good, but and then you start feeling, I
So
guess.
did you then let them go in peace?
What was that?
Did you let them go in peace? Or you
Oh yeah.
slapped them?
Oh yes.
Okay,
Yes.
as
Yes.
long you let them go in peace, that's all you had to do about this situation, because you know you have no control over nobody.
Right. But it's yeah. Sometimes it can land you on your hands and knees. It's just so draining. Sometimes, you know.
You should
Self
you should
love
never.
and love for others. We have to decipher when it's our cue to take a step back and nurture ourselves. And that's when we work on the shadow aspects of ourselves. And when we are recharged, and we don't want to consume ourselves with nothing but darkness, because when we do that, we are consciously creating a very dark space, and it's really hard to get out of that basement, right? So once we're ready to go out into the world and shine our light through others, and I like what you said earlier, Jesus, about seeing the yourself through people's eyes. I think the eyes, that quote where it says the eyes are the windows to the soul, it's so very true. We can easily see ourselves in the eyes of others because yes, we come from the same source, right? And sometimes what we see from others it can sometimes clash, because again, we tend to absorb other people's emotions unconsciously, and we're all operating at the best possible way we can be at the current state we are in. And sometimes we make these actions unconsciously, and that's where people come in and they can reflect back to us what's going on, what's possibly triggering them, or what could possibly be hurting them. And that's an opportunity for us to really self-reflect. I'm kind of on a tangent here. I don't know where I began with that. You touched on something that I wanted to add on.
Well, I think you did, because it actually not only made a lot of sense, but it hit close to me. It's like a message for me personally, because you were just like spot on, especially when you mentioned the unconscious, where you just it just happens, and then you just have to deal with it when it's happening, and you recognize that it's happening. One thing I do too, and sometimes I would get upset when I hear people always use the saying, oh, if you don't look people in the eyes, you're lying. That's a sign of someone that's lying. And I said, no. I said, there are exceptions to the rule. I said, you know why I don't like to look at people in the eyes? I said, because I don't like what I see a lot of times. So that's why most times I will look to the left or to the right of them. I don't make direct eye contact. If I even, have to, business setting or whatever, and I have to face them, that's how I kind of figured out a way around it is, look at their ear or something, look their way, but never dead in their eyes, And especially when a lot of times it's almost like you read them like a book. It's like, yeah, I'm going to know when you're lying and when you're not lying.
It's very interesting you bring up lying. I think that is the most unfortunate invention the human psyche has ever come up with. And I really like this experiment that it blew me away, because I tried this myself and it works. So if you ask someone who's lying to put out their hand, and you tell them to tell you a lie, well, they have to, the experiment here is they have to try and hold up their arm, and the body never lies. So whenever they're lying, you try to push their hand, you're going to push their hand down regardless if they try to keep their arm up or not. The experiment is they try to keep their arm up, and while they're lying, their arm's going to go down when you get them to lie to you. But yeah, looking left, it's an indicator of somebody trying to reflect on the past. And when you look to the right, it's when you are either creatively thinking about something in the future, or it's very broad what I'm talking about, but yeah, you're right.
It's
We can't
interesting,
really
but
tell
you have to understand not
somebody's
all the
lying or
time
not. Hold
that's
on a
the
second.
coincidence.
Hold on. We can't really tell when someone is truly lying. It's really up to us having that discernment, and
Your intuitions.
we get sometimes people don't like looking someone in the eyes because they are not regulated emotionally and they're
Because
nervous.
they see demons, that's why.
Not necessarily.
Yes.
Okay.
I just wanted to,
Sorry about that, Lisa.
sorry.
Go ahead, Melanie.
I just
Yeah,
wanted
we'll
to
try and make it be one at a time, though, just so everybody knows. We'll try and wait for somebody to finish the thought, and then we can definitely chime in. So just try and be respectful as we can. But thank you, everybody, for your insight. I love what everybody is saying. Go ahead, Melanie.
Sure. I just wanted to touch on what my brother was saying, but not sure 1550. But irregardless of name, it was his essence that I have tapped into, and the stuff sort of that I speak on, it's not coming from just sort of an intellectual pursuit. I get it. I had to look into this, and I had to do that work because of my own experience and because of what it was like for me to take on this journey that we're all on. And everyone has their own energetic signature. They have their own way that they're playing their vessel and their symphony. And my way of moving through the world was I could feel so much. In a way that I remember when I was much younger, just breaking down in tears and just saying, take this away from me. I don't want this anymore. It was something that, and in many ways, it is a gift, but it is also a psychic experience as well, because you are being able to feel motives. You're being able to feel what's going on behind the masks. You can, look at someone, or, feel somebody's energy and overwhelmed by what is going on in their own, inner world. And it is a lot. It can be very energetically and emotionally exhausting, which is why you were saying when you go out in large crowds, you could just, that's often why we need huge amounts of solitude at times, just to be able to reset. So I just wanted to say I completely understand and see what you're saying. And that is part of the reason why, or the reason why I had to really sort of work within my own shadow, my own psyche. And that's why I also speak about the permeability of our own auric field and our own biofield, and being able to actually have more authority and sovereignty over my own field. So as I'm moving through the world, I am still, that gift doesn't go away. I'm still able to perceive, intuit, feel what's going on around me. But it's not coming in and overtaking. There's a level of separation there. I'm able to delineate, okay, that's what I was saying, more of the place of witnessing it without having it come in and actually start to, absorb within my own energy field. Because once it starts to come into your own fields, that is when it will start to then cause that bit of imbalance within our own selves, because we're literally feeling now from others and the shadow of others. It's bringing it in, and we're starting to feel it just within our own selves. And so that's why it's a huge thing about delineation, of being able to go, okay, working it out, feeling it when it's coming in, because the heart, it's like this catch-22, to be able to start to really sort of become the master of self, because all we can do is, that's all, it's never about trying to put any kind of control on anyone else. All we can do is start to become our own master, being able to feel, you have to actually feel into it more to then be able to then, have some degree of that, separation. So being able to go, okay, where am I feeling it? Where is it coming in? How is it affecting me? What about my own self? What is within my own, is it affecting me? What about my own self? What is within my own psyche? What's within my own subconscious? What is within my own shadow that's actually latching onto this, that's actually causing this, this imbalance within my own field? So was this really deep inner work to go, okay, the only way I can transverse this is by being able to walk through my own landscape with not from so much of a subconscious sort of paradigm, but really starting to become so much more awakened and much more aware of that own shadow. And when I was able to do that, I'm like, I can now sort of start to, and it's still a journey, I'm still on it, but I can now start to move within it without having it come in and be that sponge. But I just wanted to say that I totally understand what you're saying. Everyone is different, so I'm not going to say, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I have resonance with what you're saying, and I get it. And so I just wanted to say, I see you, and keep doing that beautiful work that you're doing. Even the fact that you're talking about it and can go, hang on, this is happening, and whatever, that's like this amazing, steps to be able to kind of transverse it a bit better. An amazing gift, a beautiful, amazing gift. But like anything, even like with any practitioner, whether it's, a brain surgeon or someone who's, maybe a psychiatrist or whatever, is this whole, the highest regard of practitioner is to be able to really tap into what they're doing, but being able to have a steady hand. So a steady hand when they're doing the brain surgery or heart surgery, a steady when they're doing the brain surgery or heart surgery, a steady self and a steady psyche when they're taking in the pains and trauma of other people, to be able to actually feel into it but not have it overtake them. Otherwise they wouldn't be any help. Walk of healing. But that's a beautiful gift, brother. So keep working with it.
Thank you so much for that. It's what was it, middle school, and I tell people, I can pull out my school records. You'll see I missed a whole year of school just for that very fact that I was just tired. I was just like wanted to scream and yell and tell people, just stop feeling, stop. I just can't. And I've my journey, and it wasn't until adulthood that I really, I guess I was supposed to find out later in life, about my gift and stuff. Even though I had it and I did the best with it while I was growing up, it was just amazing to find out and say, okay, now I know why I was the misfit, while I was the outcast, while I was different, while I couldn't fit in anywhere. It's just, and you get it, and it makes it more, it brings you such relief, even though it wasn't the greatest while you were going through it, especially growing up, but it brings you relief that you have answers. Now you finally know. And, my change came in 1993 when I crossed over. And I was gone for a little bit. And and even prior to that, I had people coming to me. I mean, I won't go into too much details, but it's a testimony that I have. I was forewarned about events before they happened. And and that was the year that things happened. And I said, yes, I have to go on this journey with the universe. I have to trust. And that's when I started and my life changed. And I've seen things, and it's strange because there's certain things that I'll be like, oh my God, now I'm that person that can say something, and I won't get people to believe it because it sounds so impossible, but I witnessed it. And then I put myself on another person's shoe and say, if they came to me and said this to me, I would probably be like, okay, yeah, okay, just go along with it. But when I experienced it, I was like, oh my God, now I'm that guy that is going to have a hard time telling people certain things, because it's like, but I saw them with my own eyes, And so that's why I again, no coincidence. I think I was called in this room again because there was going to be things specifically said that resonate with me and that I need to hear. And that's what I'm learning too, is to go in certain lives and just listen. Some I will just pop out, some I will stay. And where I feel my comfort, and I also feel it's going to benefit me. And so for me, this is my second day here, and I'm like, yeah, this room probably going to become my room because, I keep getting pulled back in here,
Well, we love learning from you as well. You have some great insights. So thank you so much for being here. And I'm glad that we were able to create this space of protection, a place where we feel protected and can energize ourselves to get to that level of protection that we all need to have so that we can interact in the world that we're in. So that's beautiful. I got to mute up. I'm in the elevator.
And crystals, they can be great tools, but I don't necessarily worship them. Little funny story. I have had a collection of crystals over the course of 2 to 3 years I've collected, and someone stole them. So I've had to kind of have a moment to grieve my losses and just take the L with that. But I've realized that I don't need those things to feel protected, because I am that source. I am that person that is in control of what reality I want to create, and that's by consciously being in alignment, taking that the action, aligned action, and what I want my journey to look like. And I do like candles too, but those burn out, and you have to rely on yourself for that comfort and that sense of compassion that only you can create.
Wow, that's something else you just hit on. See, I'm like I am being called, and it will happen to the crystal part. And like you, I don't uh, need them per se, but I know they are tools. Kind of like, being a mechanic. There's certain tools or specialty tools that you utilize, and so that's the way I see them, and I respond to sometimes what I feel, and even though I don't have them now, again, and I'm doing my protection, I still know I have that protection. I just feel that they would enhance, my life, and I don't know why, but I am being called to look into them, and I will know when the right ones are going to come to me or were meant just for me, because that is personal things, personal items, kind of like sometimes I can, for example, I learned why I sometimes pick up random objects when I take a walk, because it's the energy I feel off of them. And then there's certain, like if I go to certain people's homes, there's certain rooms I will not go into because the energy just doesn't feel right. Uh, and then there's sometimes when I'm drawn to certain things, like a certain object or something, because the energy is there, and then somehow we just end up talking in such a way where, you know, like for me, it's either you hate me or you like me kind of thing. I've noticed that too. That I think with some people I disrupt their energies, or a lot of people, again, going back to like deception and all that, or they're not good people. I think they probably know that I feel it or somehow know it, and so sometimes people will tend not to want to be around me, which is fine. And then there's other times when I have the opposite, and then I try to be careful because I'm like, I'm not a I don't practice divination. I don't, because then people kind of like try to put you on a pedestal type thing when you share a message or something that you have for them, and it resonates deeply with them, and it's kind of one of those, no, I don't crave attention like that kind of thing, It's like I was telling yesterday, to wandering, I am a servant of all. I have that humility in me, and I recognize that my gift was meant to help and freely. It's just something that brings me joy to be a giver.
Really like that you mentioned the word hate, because in truth, no one is, we're not in relationship to anyone but ourselves. So life is a mirror. We reflect, we project what we are feeling on the inside to others, and others that we see, they reflect that back to us. So when someone is judging us, they're not really judging what they're doing is they're showing you their capacity for love and acceptance. And so really we don't have any haters. What they're just showing us how miserable they are internally, and we just have to deal with it accordingly, depending on where we are currently at on our path. Note that I would love to mention, I really like that the word divination is thrown around like it's something we should be worshiping, and when someone has a belief in something, and I would disagree with that notion. And I think we've all been a little bit conditioned to believe that we should worship something in order to receive that type of sovereignty or acceptance through Christ or whatever you may believe in. But I think Jesus, his message was to find that God within us, not to worship him, but to follow his footsteps. And unfortunately, he was, I'm not sure if I'm saying too much, but he people are way too comfortable not knowing the truth, and unfortunately, he got unalived for it.
This is a great conversation. I just wanted to thank everyone. I'm really enjoying listening to everyone's perspectives. Thank you. That's awesome. I think it's really interesting. It's not just crystals. People can use all different types of tools. The Buddha said a teaching, and I'm paraphrasing, but that to only use my my teachings as a means to get you over the river. So the idea was, and the imagery that he used was that think of yourself on a boat moving across a lake, and he was saying use my teachings as a tool to help you to pick up those oars and move you across the lake. But once you get across the other side of the lake, then keep moving on, keep growing, keep expanding. And that was his way of saying that, there's truth in there, but he was saying, do not cling to this. Do not cling to my teachings. Use it for when it's needed. But then once you're able to use those teachings to move yourself to where you need to be, then keep moving on, keep expanding. Don't just cling to one set of ideals or modalities or what have you. And it's very much the same. And it's interesting when Wandering was talking about dropping this crystal from his pocket, and you were saying how you had these crystals and then they were stolen, and that's what it reminded me of, that there's nothing wrong, there's nothing inherently wrong with anything. That might be exactly what that person needs at that time, and that's not to say that there won't be other times down the path when you might want to pick those things back up again, but don't cling to them. Don't think of it as this, when every time there's an internal turmoil, then it's like, okay, so where's my divination cards, or where's my crystals, or where's my guru, or, where's that external thing that's going to help me row across the river? Because the whole idea is that they're tools to empower us. So that empowerment has to be something that's a tool that's reminding us of who we are within. So I think that's, nothing inherently, good or bad, but just that important, learning curve that we do. We are holding that within, and our own inner expansion has to keep moving. It has to keep flowing. Sometimes that is about learning the lessons and letting things go. And other times it'll be about sort of seeing what else is going to be working for us and serving us, at a different point in time. But always coming back to self. And whether it's Christianity or, it's very much within the sort of the New Age as well, is this idea that of this constantly trying to seek these external modalities and these external things that are going to bring us our, internal empowerment. But embodiment can only come within. So whilst these things might be useful at a time, it always has to come from that deep remembering and within our own selves, because even within a microtubules, which they say is there is literally a type of water that is more of a crystallized water, which is what actually faces with the multidimensional reality of where we live, and reality itself. So we hold crystalline structures just within our own being. Mother Earth, they did these amazing experiments once the tech got more evolved, and they went back when they had I think it was, I can't remember the year, but the devastating earthquake that they had. But they had all of these seismic, the biggest ones that they had on record, this seismic activity that had been recorded. And then a few years ago, they were able to use the tech with more advanced computing and technology, and they actually found that what they thought they knew about the core of the Earth, which they always thought was a molten core, even geologists are now kind of going, oh, okay, it actually looks like there might be a crystalline structure sitting within the core of the Earth. So we Mother Earth holds that within her essence. We hold crystalline structures within our very essence, is what enables us to be able to interface with not just dense reality, but we are multidimensional. So it's this beautiful landscape that we're dealing with. But the whole thing is that we're holding it within us. We are it. Anytime we try and put something outside and look to something else, it's that remembering of okay, we already hold that. We are that. We are it already. But these things can help. They can be very helpful.
Yes, so beautiful. I love what you all are saying. It just sparked something in me that I love to say to everybody, and they can say it to themselves, they can say it to whoever they would deem necessary, that I am not your leader, you are not my leader, and we have no leaders. By working out of love and service to others, there is no need for leaders. But in certain times, catalyst is necessary for change. So are you somebody who is going to cause catalyst in somebody else's life? That is what we need to be aware of, that we can help those people that are in dark places, like you guys have all been talking about. We can help these people in these little ways and be a catalyst to them coming to that remembrance of their true self, right? Of us learning about who we truly are. So I just wanted to add that in before the next person takes off with this beautiful discussion we've been having.
I really like what you said about all of everything that we're talking about. It's beautiful that we're all gathered here and shedding light on our own things that we have learned throughout the course of our life. And just a step outside of spirituality, with my work ethics, from what I have learned, my last job was I was a manager at a grocery store, and the thing about my job there is we would train almost every day I would work. We'd have to spend 5 to 10 minutes on the computer, and there was one of the prompts was talking about how we need to be leaders and see everyone as a leader. Even though I was a manager, I had to lead by example and to show people that they are also a leader. But stepping back into spirituality, I think that it's really important to give people their space and show them grace, even though they may think that they are following. To just show them that they need to believe in themselves in order to be a leader of their own life and the people around them, and encourage others to do the same, whether it's through the same path, or if they're on their own different journey, that's fine too. But yeah, we have to be here for one another. It's like looking at a few bees that are stuck at the bottom of a bucket that was sorry, I got a text, a bucket of honey, and they're drenched in honey and they're drowning. But when you bring them back to their colony, you'll find that the colony has cleaned up their crew, and they were able to fly again. So we need that community in order for us to thrive. We can't do this alone.
Yeah, that's interesting. You bring that up. There's also the wolves who also really lean on each other big time. They will nurse the injured wolf until that wolf passes. Even like they are so, like, nature just is telling us like how how connected we can be in different ways, and we're supposed to be human. Human means the kind one. So we should be exemplifying that kindness to everybody around us, and not needed to be looking towards these animals to kind of give us an idea of kindness. So yeah, that's so beautiful.
Wow, that man, this is like so much for me today. It's like, Alicia, right? Alicia.
You pronounced it right.
Okay. Where you were talking about leaders and stuff, that hit to my heart too, because I remember in high school I took the ASVAB test from the Marines and stuff, and it's supposed to show, I don't know what, personality, this, that, and the other. And that was one of the things they told me. They said, you have leadership skills. And I would go to their leadership classes on the behalf of my school so I can bring back the knowledge I learned at the Marine base and share it with our class. And it's funny because I don't seek it. I don't want it. I'm like, no, I'd rather someone else take the lead, and I'm comfortable being here as long as they're fair and a good leader. I don't, and unexplainably, it just happens. I get chosen to lead here or in this group or in that group, and I'm like, okay, it's something I don't seek, and sometimes it just gets placed upon me, and of course, I guess being gifted really helps because I can manage all the personalities, and I can tell who's feeling what and what's the best way to make these two get along because of their personalities and stuff like that. So, that you just shared right now, that was like, oh my God, it's just the whole connection today in the room is awesome.
You sharing that, and I'm very glad that you're here. I think that everything is meant to be put in front of us at the time it was meant to. So I think you are on the right path right now. We're exactly where we're supposed to be. And I really love what you said about, it's when you're picked to lead a certain group of people, it can be intimidating because sometimes we forget how powerful we are. And when someone else sees, it's like looking at a butterfly. The butterfly doesn't know how beautiful it is unless someone takes a look at it. It's so beautiful, what you said. And yeah, it's all about navigating that fear of being misunderstood and judged. That's really what it comes down to. Once we step out of that fear, and I mean, it's okay to take the fear with us, but don't let it dictate your life. And just go with it. And, every step, just step with full confidence that you're going to get to that next step.
So beautiful, yes. Melanie, did you want to add on to that real quick?
Yeah, I just wanted to say the conversation kind of reminds me of what Plato spoke about in the Republic, the philosopher's king. And I heard this years ago, and it's just always really sat with me. And the philosopher's king is about the type of leader who isn't corrupted, who doesn't want the position for any sort of personal gain. It's not about, seeking any type of, external power. It's the philosopher is the one who seeks inner wisdom, knowledge. They have a deep understanding and respect for justice, for virtue. The types of leaders, I guess, that we really need. And the irony of what he spoke about with the philosopher's king is that those who are most suited to the role are never the ones that take it, are never the ones that actually push themselves to actually get in that position. And he was talking about what we need are philosopher kings/queens, but I'm just using the language that he used. And it's so interesting because we even see that, I won't go into it, but in all, it doesn't matter what branch, but we even see that within, the power structures and the political structures, even within this world. It's very often self-serving, and unfortunately, if we did have those sorts of leaders, even just small leaders in the household, leaders in our small community, those philosopher kings and queens who know what virtue is, and they know what true justice is, and they have inner knowledge and inner wisdom. And those people are never the ones that really want the role because they understand the corruption that goes along with it. But anyway, I just thought I'd touch on that, just reminded me of it.
Yes. Oh, I so agree with what you just said. And I think you piggybacked off of what I was saying. So thank you for landing the plane for me.
Yes, beautiful. One other thing I wanted to just add to what we're saying here, and for anybody out there listening, because we have a few people that have been in the room for a little while, that wherever you are in your current path, in this present moment, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. And that's something that's very powerful for people to recognize, and you need to really take that in a deeply spiritual way, that you are exactly where you are supposed to be in this moment. There is nothing that you messed up in your past. It is just the past, and now the present moment is here, and we are ready to create the future with that present moment. So understanding what protections we need, understanding what maybe old protections maybe we don't need to worry about because they're holding us back. Maybe they were placed there because of fear, like with my black tourmaline. I had purchased that out of fear of dark forces that were maybe going to come after me for having a TikTok live. And my ancestors, or whatever source, God, ultimate love, whatever you want to call it, the energy that flows through all of us, let me know, hey, I'm here for you. I've got your back. That crystal, you can lean on it for a few days, but you have everything that you need. And in this moment, you are powerful enough, and just gave me some confidence, because I've always lacked confidence. I think a lot of men lack confidence, especially in today's world. And that is why they act out so much because they are afraid and they need to show strength. And if they have a bit of sorrow or fear, those emotions aren't what men are supposed to have. We're supposed to have courage and strength and fight for whatever is out there, you know? And so now we're fighting online battles nonstop and becoming major trolls everywhere because we feed off of this inner battle that we feel like we need to have. And so, yeah, it's definitely a good topic today and a good conversation that we've had. So
Wonderful topic. Thank you for having me here. And
yeah,
I think I took away with something that I desperately needed. So thank you for the insights that resonated. You guys have a great night.
hey, thank you so much. You have a wonderful night.
Thanks, Alicia. It was awesome to chat with you.
Yes, thank you, Melanie. I will see you guys next time.
All right. Take care.
Leave you with peace, love, and light.
Take care.
Oh, Alicia's always got some good things to say. I love people that are really well grounded and just honest with themselves. That's what we need more of. More people being honest with themselves. That's what we need more of. More people being honest with themselves.
Well, touching on the man thing too. Yeah, you are right. How it's just how things slowly also like creep up, and people just accept certain things when I think when they're constantly said enough times. But yeah, like the old adage, man up. Men don't cry. Men don't have emotions. It's like, huh? you know, you're just expected, to be a non-feeling entity, for some reason, and it's and I tell people it's not me being upset or mad or anything like that. I said, but I've realized I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be, and that's me. So if I shed a tear, if I cry, I don't care. You can pass judgment on me or think about me any which way you want, but that's you're I don't become what you think me to be. So I'm not weak. I'm not something strange or weird because you think like that. It's not my problem how you think, but I'm going to show you a little bit of reality, and this is reality. I'm a person. I'm a being. I feel, and there's nothing wrong with expressing my emotions.
Oh, I love that. Yes, I've always been a crier as a little kid. Even when, like, my dad would always like make a joke of me when I would cry, and he'd cry, but be also like be making a funny face, like making fun of me crying or whatever. So it would make me cry more. So it didn't really help. I kept crying and crying and crying about everything. I would play basketball, and if I lost a game, I'd just bawl my eyes out as a little teenager. And whenever I got a gift from somebody, I would just bawl, just cry about it, just so sad because I'm just overwhelmed with emotion when someone gives me a gift. And it's not like I was not receiving it in the right heart. It's just I was just so overwhelmed with emotion. And yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, just having that openness to let that emotion out really helps even keep you grounded, and it lets you feel deeply. And I mean, I had when I was little, I didn't have very many friends that were boys because I was kind of a crier, and like the girls would come over to me when the boys were mean and trying to like get me to fight them or something. I'd always run away. I didn't want to fight anybody, and they all kind of knew that I was a runner. And I was probably one of the fastest kids there was. My dad was a champion racer in his school. It was a small school, but whatever. He always likes to say he was fast, so I'd always have the girls all giving me hugs. I'm like, oh no, you're gonna be okay, like, and all this. And so yeah, I mean, when men do show their emotion, that does, like, it was all the younger girls, like the girls my age, they were 12, 13, 14, and they were all just my friends. And it wasn't like a thing where I was trying to be, like, attracted sexually. It was more like just like a friendship thing. And it's like once you open yourself up, when guys realize they can open themselves up, they'll realize that these females are going to be drawn to them because the females are so sensitive a lot of time to that emotion, and they're drawn to it as well, you know. And you'll draw the people around you that resonate with you, you know, the people that understand, or like that are going to be the best for you, you know, because there's women that you're trying to attract that want the man who's not crying, you know. Those people, that's not who I want to be with anyway. So yeah, it's good to be your genuine self, because then when you're your genuine self, the people around you are going to be so much more genuine, because a lot of people are friends with people out of convenience and agreeability. And I don't want to have any friends that I'm only friends with because I'm agreeable and because it's convenient. You know, that's why I decided I had to move away from all of my family members, because I was only really friends with all of them because it was convenient and I was just being agreeable with them. Like if I was to disagree with what they were saying, you know, it always starts major fights or whatnot, you know, because they're pretty stuck in their ways and they don't want to be told that they are incorrect because they have all the answers. So yeah, that's beautiful. We got to cry more because it's going to bring us all together, right?
I think too that's not going back to what's on the screen. That's a form of protection. We recognize it. It's and me, my philosophy is too, you know, once I become more and more letting my true self be seen to newer people, I'm going to take the fact that some are going to keep walking, and that's fine. They weren't meant to be with me, because I tell people I want quality over quantity. And you know, I jokingly say this because you know what's going to come. There's going to be an instant thing come to thought when I say this, right? When I was in high school, I had many girlfriends. Now, the first thought is going to be that I was hooking up with these girls. No, I had many girlfriends.
Yes,
You
I
know
know
what I'm
exactly
saying?
what
Just
you
like
mean.
you. Yeah,
Yes,
just
we
like
were
you.
just friends.
Yes, yes. They can. They would openly talk to me about their boyfriends or things about their lives, like you know someday you know what they want for their future. I mean, and you know what they want for their future. I mean, and people forget that's the most beautiful thing that there is, when people can openly talk to you, when they show real self, you know, and that helps us motivate one another instead of people always putting on these fake faces and stuff like that. You know, it's reality is the best, and there's nothing wrong with it. It empowers you.
I agree so much. I do want to welcome in Courtney real quickly, and then I can let Jesus land the thought there. Courtney, how are you today? Courtney Waves, are you able to unmute real quick and say hello?
Hello.
Hello. I'm going to let you go in just a minute and give your thought process of what maybe has sparked conversation for you, but I do want to let Jesus finish his thought because he was saying some beautiful stuff.
The other thing I wanted to point out too, well, I was raised with around a lot of girls. For some reason, my family had a lot of girls in it, so I had a lot of girl cousins that I grew up with, which I think was very valuable. So I tend to be one of those men that sees all females as my sisters. So I'm very protective of them just by default because of the way I was brought up. But it's a shame too that sometimes, like you were saying about boys showing emotions. I mean, I knew some boys that their dads were like, "Oh, so you want me to start buying you dresses now, or are you going to play with dolls pretty soon?" And I'm like, it's bad in two ways, because they're emotional and that's who they are. That's not a bad thing. But then second of all, why are you bringing females into it like it's a negative? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you want me to buy you a dress? So it's like now you're putting females down too, not explicitly, but covertly. So it's like people don't recognize damages that they do, you know? And that was just my end thought.
Yeah, that's great. And we did lose Courtney. She dropped down somehow. I'm doing dishes right now, so my hands are a little bit wet. But yeah, I love
Yeah,
what
I definitely
you
noticed
said
the
there.
clanking of dishes.
Yep, that was me. I tried to mute up, but it didn't happen so quickly all the time. And now I got water on my phone because I just clicked the unmute button. There we go. Got it cleaned off.
I was gonna say, go run and get some rice.
Right. I've done that plenty of times in the past, but now with all the waterproofing of the phone, I haven't had to do that, so that's nice.
I just wanted to quickly say that whoever told or started that ridiculous notion that boys couldn't cry, I mean, or couldn't cry, I mean, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous and really so damaging that, and you can actually see it coming out even, within culture itself, within culture itself. Crying is actually a part of emotional regulation. So it's such a normal, needed aspect of the human experience, especially as children. And then to be told to not be able to express that and bottle it up, what a terrible legacy to be handing over to boys. Because emotional intelligence, and that's why part of the reason, so enjoying this conversation, and I keep coming back to this space is that it's, talk to a couple of men who clearly have really high emotional intelligence. It's really good, and it's really refreshing. It opens up conversation and authenticity. So yeah, it's so needed, and it's really interesting, I find, because when you see these everyone's got a story where these boys have been told, oh, what are you doing crying for? What, you're going to put your girl pants on and have a little outburst. That in of itself, ironically, is emotional dysregulation. That's actually having a little outburst and not being able to actually maintain any kind of emotional regulation. So, and again, ironically, crying actually is a sign of working through emotion and having a level of regulation over it. So I just find that ironic, because even the outburst itself is actually just showing that they clearly have not emotional intelligence. And an inability to regulate it properly, because that's the only reason why you'd shame a child. When an adult shames a child, it's just coming from their own inner dysregulation. So yes, cry, let it out, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep, and let other people cry. Just weep with those who weep, as the good book says, right? Mourn with those who mourn. Rejoice with those who rejoice. I love those different scriptures that are hidden deep in my heart, that I can make the right choice ahead of me. Some might call it avoid sin, but I don't like to consider it that, because even these people who are on these quote unquote destructive pathways are really just learning something deeply about themselves, and maybe they'll never change in their whole life, but that just prepares them for the next one, right? Because I don't believe that anybody is gone forever. I believe that energy does transfer, and it's even found in science nowadays. So it's amazing how we're kind of evolving to this new understanding. It's almost like the previous civilizations had come to this understanding at some point in history too. I just don't understand why those civilizations ended and now we have to rebuild again. It's kind of interesting to think about the history of the earth, and everybody's got a different viewpoint of it, with different planetary structures or Maldek or different things. But yeah, the universe is so interesting, but it's important to live in the moment, for sure, to control our every emotion, because we don't choose our actions, right? I like to think that we don't choose our actions that much. We more choose our emotions, and then our emotions kind of play it out. Like, we basically have like a switch, basically, as we go through life, and either that switch is just being turn to the left or to the right when a decision comes up. You're doing it subconsciously or you're doing it consciously. And we can get to a place of doing it consciously. And that's the whole point that I wanted to start these panels, is to wake people up to to become more conscious of the control they have of their body that they've given away. They've given away control. We've given away control of ourselves. So we're going to take it back. All right, are we ready for some more positive affirmations? Is that what we want to do here and close this up? Or did we want to talk about some more specific things you guys have them coming up in your brain?
I'm just flowing, happy to just just flow.
Perfect. Okay, well, you can definitely give some positive words to people out there. I'm going to mute up for a second as I just prepare for a moment. So just give me just a moment here, and I'll have to get off the screen.
I guess as far as positive affirmations go, it's just your internal dialogue. How are you talking to yourself? And just be mindful of that. And we all have innate worth. We all have innate worthiness, and we're all innately worthy. And our past doesn't define us. We've all made mistakes. We're going to make mistakes, but just honour your own journey and your own process of going through it all, and watch how you talk to yourself. We're our own biggest critics, or our own biggest cheerleaders, and we deserve it. Everyone deserves it. So, start thinking about the way we talk to ourselves, and every day in all those little moments, catch it when it's happening. When you start to feel yourself moving into those spaces where your negative self-talk, catch it in that moment, and just remember who we truly are, which, at our core is we are eternal and sacred. And even science tells us we are born from stardust. We are literally part of the cosmos, walking this earth and transversing it. We are so incredibly sacred. And the human being, I call it the Homo luminous, because we're just luminosity, just waiting to remember.
That is beautiful. Yes, we are just waiting to remember. We don't even realize it. Hold on, I'll be right. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. All right, well, I wanted to play some nice background music for it, but it's not wanting to work that well. Oh, wait, did it just start working? Right when I said it wasn't going to work. I've been waiting on you for so long. That's okay if it doesn't, though. I still have my brain to give you some positive affirmations, and I want to focus on productivity with this one. I want to focus on mental clarity. and boundaries and your self-worth in a demanding world. So that is the premise. And I'm just going to start with, you are more than what you produce. You're more than your productivity. We talk a lot about needing to do things. You don't need to do anything. You got to recognize we get to do things, and that energizes us to be able to do those things. But you are more than your productivity. You don't need to produce. You wait until you feel called to produce, and then you can produce. You can prioritize without feeling guilty. There's going to be a lot of different people that are going to have live TikTok accounts or live video feeds, and you don't have to feel guilty for not going into all of them. I don't have to feel guilty for not going into all of them. That's one thing for me. I feel like there's so many people doing them, and I want to support all of them, but just having more spaces is good enough for me, and I don't need to feel guilty. We don't need whatever you're feeling guilty about. You can have your priorities, and you don't need to feel guilty. Give yourself permission to pause and reset. There's so much go, 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 go. But we can stop. We can take a moment. In those quiet moments is when we can truly reflect on ourselves, realize who we are again, and then we can make positive choices out in the world. Because a lot of times, if you don't pause and reset, then you're just going, going, going. And as people throw some energy at you, you may throw that energy back at them again. And you're just feeding them that bad energy that they are just giving out to the world. And they just see the world a specific way. So they treat the world in this negative connotation. And if you give that negativity back to them, it only confirms what they were already trying to realize. So definitely good to pause and reset for everybody around you. You are also, your value is not defined by your title or your output. You are not defined by your job. It doesn't matter what your title is. Whether you work for whatever job it is. I don't want to say anything about any job negatively or positively. We're all on our own path, and all these jobs do need to be filled so that we can make this world a better place and bring us to a place of harmony and unity. And if we all just are okay with our place in life and the here and now, and understand that we're moving into a new and greater future, I think it is going to make the world a much brighter place when we understand that your value is not defined by your job title or what you output. You bring purpose to your work, not the other way around. Your work, your choice of job is not what gives you purpose. You being alive is the purpose. Your purpose is being alive and experiencing and enjoying times with people around you and crying with those who cry, right? We talked about that earlier. Having those deep emotional connections with the people around you and connecting deeply with yourself. And also, I want to say you are allowed to pursue success on your own terms. Whatever success looks like for you, whatever you think that you need in life, that is okay. You have those desires in your heart, and those things should not be quieted. Those specific ideas you have, like me, I've always had a really, really big heart for the homeless. It may have a lot to do with, where I was brought up, and I was brought around a lot of different homeless shelters, and I wanted to work at different homeless shelters in the children's program. But those things were in my heart. And what's in your heart, the things you want to pursue, you should pursue them. You should not feel that you're unworthy or that somebody else is supposed to do that thing that you want to do. Like, I always dreamed of surfing, and I never thought that it was going to be me until somebody, was kind enough to take me out with them. But If there are things in your heart, just work towards them and be ready when a door opens up and put your foot in that door. Don't consider yourself unworthy of anything, of those pursuits that you are desiring. And also boundaries and balance. Rest is not a reward, it's a right. I love people to remember that you have responsibility to rest yourself. And you must protect yourself at all times. You must know what you can handle and what you cannot handle. If you're in a position and you know you're a little bit vulnerable because you have not recharged, maybe you're running a little low on energy, protect your time. Take some time away for yourself. You might have to say no to a TV show, or you might have to say no to a meetup with a friend even. And I hate to not meet up with a friend, right? I don't want to let my friend down, but sometimes it's necessary, and only you can know those times. So you need to protect that. And saying no also is an act of self-respect. So remember that you're respecting yourself when you are able to say no to certain things. And this is a demanding world. It's a one that wants you to produce and to work extra hard for things that we need for survival, for a roof, for our food, for our communication devices, and for our entertainment, right? We thrive in a system. We can thrive in these systems, though. They push us to burnout, but we are strong enough to create those habits in our life that give us the proper amount of rest, the proper amount of respite, even though it's pushing for burnout to make people go over the edge. We can thrive in that system because we are enough. You are enough. And the last one I want to leave you with is that you are allowed to dream of better things. Allow yourself to dream of a better world. Think of what that better world looks like. And now I'm empowering you, and all of us here are empowering each other to go out and create that better world. So I will leave you with that. If anybody has any final thoughts on that, I'm definitely open up the floor one last time for some positive affirmations today.
Thank you. That was awesome. That was some really thought provoking affirmations. So I really appreciate that. I'll just finish off and say, just sort of going off a couple of things that you were saying, that we're so led to believe that everything is scarcity. So this real sort of scarcity mindset, and it just creates competition. People trying to walk all over each other just to get a crumb from under the table. It is this constant idea that we're having to fight within ourselves and society to be able to get a little piece of the pie. But it's a mindset. It's something that's been deliberately put to us so that we're constantly chasing our own tails. There is no scarcity. Everything, we are moving in embodiment of wholeness, and when we can remember that and know that we actually have that, we don't have to be in competition with our brothers and sisters. There's enough to go around. It was created that way to begin with. We've just forgotten. So we're enough, we're whole, and we don't need to keep chasing our own tails. We already have that inner wholeness. So thank you. This is really awesome. I appreciate you holding the space and sharing it.
Yeah, I'm glad to host it. I'm just going to flip my camera around. Give you guys my face. It's kind of blurry. It's a beautiful day here today. Nice little view from my apartment. Yeah, I just want to just leave you all with love and light and let you know that I'm on your side. And I'm so thankful for everybody who came through. And I will post some of the affirmations because one of my friends asked me to. Come on, says, heading back. He's just about to get off work. Have a blessed day, everybody. So yes, come on, have a blessed day. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And yes, I will be hosting more live videos because I feel called to do this, and so I'm going to do it because that's what I'm called to do. So I love you all. Peace, love, and light.